do it. Well, I'm on your way. No, Frank, what do it? I'm just a get it. Sure. Atagasiwe, siwe, atagasiwe, meye. Come on, get yourself out of the way. Atagasiwe, when we buy, it's you. Siwe, do go on there, he's a jail. Tiambla, meye. Tiambla, and I say, we go. I'm better than one apple caddy. That's where I want. You can't say you. But I'll go away. You play a must, yeah. You mean I'm not okay? Okay, well, watch you on. I got daddy, I got body, yeah. But I'll watch it away. And me don't know, we love your pepper. All I'm on your way. Well, I can't on your way. I want to look over there. Well, I'm about to your life. You don't know we go ahead. And I just see where it's go. I will stay one way, man. When you are coming away. What we fly, you must stay the same over. And I just see wherever. You get never there. You say I see you. You see more of life, say I see you. I start to go away. You say I see you. Take away, man. You say I see you. I need your way to the put. So people. I'm a player, I'm a jiggler, Sibare. But I'm a get lawyer with you. But I'll be right too. Say I decide. Say party, I decide. You do what I'm about to do. But you feel that they will do. Daniel Sayo, Saya Chela won't play on you. Mono to a go. For someone that does a power, can you won't play on? If I don't say you age, okay, not Johnny get right again. Don't tell me why don't lie on the you. I'm paying them, I am you. We want to buy the give I'm the terror by the way. I feel by the way. I got the way she went to go. Who will lie? Now what you want to buy your lie? It's the country. And the way. Oh, what you do, says I do. And I got see no help. I'm let go away with you. When I'm just like I'm taking away, what they doing? You have to go no job, boy, away, you know, bye bye. What if I my way, back down one end? Hey, I won't go away, Mama, happy where you can away, I'm only. But I got no job, boy, but I play up when we are more, boy, away, baby. No, my God, I'm on my way to do, baby. You might not got your power, oh, with it. I'm let my way. Then you go on, no job, oh, boy, away. Okay, I'm not right, I'm letting the car away, you. One Wednesday, yeah. The budget away from my pocket, I know it. Put anywhere, wait for your day, boy, you're not. In my way, you know, when you say go. Kaya tabi say, you know, go, boy, we're out. Don't have them on my blue. For Pando, then you are Palu. Hello, are you at? Then you go lost and you're so power now. Doctors are saying you're so and I'm power now. Sian Romeo saying so and I'm power now. Power now, it's a my boy, it's a science so and I'm blowing Siago. Proud to a science so and power now. Every day, you didn't do all day. I'm just talking away. Kill I'll be there more. What we lie? Bruce is slowly. But up what we lie. That one is the same so. They are more for your widow. I want to be a flower. I'll bring you a woman. Can't buy a girl and my mama. To some to them. To some to them. To some to them. To some to them. So people. Ay ay ay. Choleta fato. Ifano.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Voice of Sino is back. Brand new edition of your Prime Show. Esoteric here coming to you from these United States. It's a wonderful show. We're having a special guest today, presidential hopeful. His name is Honorable John, should I say the American way, John P. Tarley is our special guest. This afternoon, at least from my end right now, is 11:54 almost afternoon. And so, guys, please do us that huge favor as you join us. It's going to be a lively conversation with our special guest. This gentleman right here, he wants to be the president of Liberia. Yes, so a new party was established, and yes, he appeared not too long ago on Spoon Talk, expressing his desire to become the president of Liberia. He's going to be contesting. He wants to contest in 2029 in Liberia against the current president. I don't know whether Joseph Burka is going for re-election. We are not sure yet. The former president George Weah, for sure, he's going to be coming back, and an array of other presidential candidates will be in the race. And added to that, killed is Honorable John P. Tarley, if and only if he is selected by his delegates, his party. They're going to be going to a conference where his leader will be decided. But as of now, he is the vision bearer for the new party. What is it called here? Let me see the banner before I call different name. I think it's the Liberian Freedom Party is called. Let's see. I got the banner somewhere. So guys, please share the show for us. Let your friend know to share the show, or invite your friend, somebody who wants to be the president of Liberia. That's somebody we have to listen to and ask the questions to the National Freedom Party of Liberia. Presidential hopeful is Honorable John P. Tarley, and we're going to be having a conversation with him. All right, guys. So let's build our audience a little bit again as you join us. Share the link for us, and we will highly appreciate that. So we're going to be on the screen for you, Patrick, Shirley, Perkins. We're going to be cross-pollinating with Mr. John Tarley. All right. So without further ado, let me play this young guy here. I like his music. And that is Fred W. Tarley. We'll be right back.
Fred W. Tarley, the Pulemo boy, alongside Prince Neil Tarley on this wall. I'm there for you, yeah. For you, I'm there for you, yeah. You saw no one for you, when you want me for you. But I'm there for you, yeah, mama, yeah. I'm there for you. Tell you someone you are now. I'm there for you, mama, yeah, mama, I'm there for you.
Yeah, our plan this afternoon is not to fight, but our plan is to probe, is to excavate the vision, the agenda of Honorable John P. Tarley. Don't go away. Yeah, so but of course, though, John P. Tarley is the fighter. He's coming, he's a political fighter for Liberia.
Mama, 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 play for you. I say, it must start you. Play for you, papa. Not you, mother. It must start you. Forest party, mother. I play for you.
Yeah, we get the strong man. We got the fighter. That's Honorable John P. Tarley this afternoon. Is our special guest. And again, we ask you to share the show for us. We're going to highly appreciate that. Let's see. I don't like how my audio sound here. Let's see. I think it's going up a little bit now. All right. So, yeah, our special guest is Honorable John P. Tarley this afternoon. He is the vision bearer for the National Freedom Party of Liberia. He wants to contest 2029. So this afternoon, we're going to be navigating the vision of Honorable John P. Tarley. Who is he? What has he been involved with? Yes, we're going to be asking those questions. Shelley is backstage, the co-host of Voice of Sino, waiting for Patrick and Perkins to join us. Don't go away. Share the link for us.
No, you're not I bet you to be I blame for you. I'm blame for you. I'm blame for you. I blame for you. In a I'm blame for you. What's up? I'm blame for you. Friend, now you. Papa. But we all do some pass out. I'm blame for you. Mother.
see, poverty is killing our people in Liberia. And so when somebody talks about he didn't say I'm going to reduce poverty, I'm going to minimize it. Mr. John Tarley is saying, you know what? Our country is endowed with a lot of natural resources. We have all the resources in the world that we need for every Liberian citizen. There are nearly 6 million people to be out of poverty. So John Tarley has a vision for us, and he's going to be discussing the vision. How is it that he's going to take the nearly 6 million Liberians out of poverty? And so, ladies and gentlemen, while we are on air, I'm also following on a development in Liberia. The United, the SAPO Development Organization is having a serious their conventions going on in Liberia. And during the introduction, the new phase of the first phase of the program, we saw that the president of the United SAPO Association in Americas, Mr. William Manning, gave a special statement to his father. His father presented the statement and to the body. And we'll go, if we have time, we're going to go into that statement. It's a major, major statement. But in the meantime, we'll have John Tarley as our guest. Right now, John Tarley is the fighter. John Tarley is coming to fight poverty in Liberia. And that sounds like a music to me. Yes, Shirley Snan, the co-host of Voice of Sano, she got avalanche of questions. She got a myriad of questions to fire today. Ladies and gentlemen, the protracted conflict or the division within the SAPO community in the U.S. I mean, will the president, Mr. William Manning, end that? Because the man is, that was the vision, his pledge to the people. He said, you know what, the division within the SAPO community in the U.S. is not healthy. And so this is something that I want to accomplish. So the president has made the first overture and reached out to our brothers and sisters. And then the statement was read. If we have the time, we'll play the statement for you. But don't go away. Today, our special guest is Mr. John Tarley. He wants to disclose the vision to us. Shirley and I will be on the screen shortly for you while the other guys join us. Yeah, we also have a breaking news from Sino County. One of our sons has been fired by the office of Representative Ada Sonny Boy. I thought we have to be reducing the unemployment rate in Liberia. Unfortunately, our lawmaker is firing people.
Hey, hold on there and listen. The biggest online platform is back and we are ready. It's the voice of Sino in the diaspora. Your one stop for information, debate, and discovery. Join us every Thursday at 12 o'clock p.m. EST, 4 o'clock p.m. GMT, and 12 midnight in the Philippines, where power, progress, and the people take center stage. The program is with your host, Dasaya Pora Esoteric, the mouthpiece of the God, and your bread and co-host, Shadow Snare. They are bringing the heat, the truth, and the talk every single week with spotlight, polls, education, politics, and so much more. Listen and listen very well. The program features deep dives and critical analysis from Patrick Bolu and Pickens Jadia. Don't miss out. Catch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Just search Voice of Sino in the Diaspora. The program is every Thursday, and you know why? We bring the conversation to you. Voice of Sino in the Diaspora, where your voice matters.
Yes, your voice matter. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Voice of Sino in the Diaspora with your host, Dak Sayapode Esoteric, the spokesperson of the elders and the ancestors. And esoteric, what does it mean? Understood by the chosen few, of course. All right, I'm happy. I am suffused, imbued with euphoria to be here to have another conversation with you today. Instead of you listening to me, you're going to be listening to a special guest on the platform today, somebody who wants to lead our country. And what the man wants to do, I love that, okay? So before we invite our guests, they have the team, the technical team. You know, the man wants to be president, of course, so he has a whole team there. They are trying to set the man up to make sure that he appears presidential on the screen for you. But without further ado, I'd like to invite the co-host of Voices Sino in the Diaspora, Shirley. What's her middle name? She called her middle name the other day. Lofty. Something I love in the middle there. I know for sure. But let me bring Shirley here. Hey, Shirley. You're on mute.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Good. Our YouTube followers are more they are on time than our Facebook followers. But either way, you know, we are doing good. But how are you? How is Minnesota? How's the weather out there?
The weather is okay. It's Minnesota, you know. Sunday good, Sunday bad. How we looking?
Okay, all right. How you're looking, right? What you call it? The weather is, a bookman would say, capricious. You know, it's fickle. It can change anytime.
Yeah, all the English words to describe it.
Yep, that's it right there.
We love Minnesota. You know, Minnesota is home.
Right. That's my former home. I love Minnesota as well. I mean, I love Minnesota. I was there before. Beautiful. I ran away because of the weather. I'm from a hot land. I can be in a refrigerator. You know, that's I can't do that. Yeah, but that's why you're looking. My complexion used to be like you before, but when I left, that's when I changed. But go ahead.
I'm gonna say people that are in the East Coast, when they try to argue that the weather in the East Coast is better than Minnesota, I don't know. It's just like it's not adding up. Because you'll still get snow. I used to live in Pennsylvania as well. I went to school in PA, and I know when the snow is snow. So I don't see the difference. But anyway.
Wow, you don't see the difference. But anyway, let us go into that. Our guest is backstage. You know, but Shelley, before we bring the guest on the platform, he looking all presidential, looking good. I love that.
Always, always, yeah.
Yeah, you looking good, but I'm talking about the guest right now. The
Yeah, I
guest
was
looking
talking
real
about
good.
the guest as well. I said always, he always look good. Mr. Tarley always come representing, the man knows color. First of all, the man had a whole clothing line,
Right,
so
that's
he
true.
knows color, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. And you, that former boss man, so the two of you are on fire today for me. But let's do quickly, Shelley. I mean, before we bring the guests on here, I want us to do quick shout out to at least two persons, ladies before gentlemen. Our mother Maple City, she
Ooh,
celebrated her birthday, and
oh
so
my
yeah,
goodness.
that's yeah, she celebrated her birthday. I look, Facebook, I chiche pull it down, it tells you everything.
Yes,
You
yeah.
know, so our mother celebrated her birthday. I think was it yesterday? I'm not too sure, but I just saw a lot of birthday greetings on her page, and I just thought to also share the birthday was. So our mother of Maple City, we want to say happy birthday to you. I'm told Facebook say you just turned, I think maybe 25, and you are growing. We want to say, ma'am, happy birthday to you. And we wish you many more happy returns. Share it quickly so we can bring our guests
Well,
on.
happiest birthday to my own grandma, the Iron Lady, the woman with so many talents. She is super gifted. And happiest birthday that my late grandmother, best friend, best sister. So we honor you and praying for many more healthy years.
All right, thank you. So, mother, happy birthday. So, the last person, the last but not the least, is the former COS of the People of Sano County Electoral District Number 3, Representative Office, Honorable Zaza COS Oliver Barr, also celebrated his birthday. So, Oliver, we want to say it happy birthday to you as well. Belated happy birthday to you. Who wish you many more years to come and the best. You know, you're one of the best. I shouldn't say was. He's a good leader. He knows administration. Yeah, if you want somebody to be an administrator, Oliver should be on your team. He's a very good guy, level-headed. I mean, quite thoughtful guy. Met him in Liberia. I said, this is a potential leader here for Liberia, for Sano County. All right, so Shelley, want to do a shout out to Oliver, so we can bring our guests.
Well, Oliver, happiest birthday. Enjoyed your birthday and many more healthy years.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Just quickly again, I think our guest is settling down backstage, so we just want to just impinge upon the opportunity to give the people, Shelley, this quick breaking news. This is the Voice of Sano for sure, and so we'll be right back. Don't go away. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Voice of Sano in the Diaspora. The breaking news, the county coordinator or the district coordinator for our district number 3, Sano County electoral district number 3, Sano County, Honorable Dr. Alexander Noah, district coordinator, was fired. His name is Stanley David Nanti. He was fired by the office of the representative. We don't know what led to his termination, but today we have a special guest, so we're not going into that topic. We're not going to give you detail for now. We don't want to keep the guest waiting too long backstage. And so we just wanted to break that story to you. The district coordinator for Representative Alex Sonneborn Noah was fired. And I think we should be today. Our guest is coming to tell us how to reduce poverty, how to increase our employment rate in the country. And unfortunately, our lawmaker is firing people. All right, so that is not a good news. But let get into our story, our show here, Shelley.
Yes.
Let bring. I think Patrick just joined us, so let me bring Patrick on.
Okay.
Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Patrick, let's check your audio.
Patrick. Okay, let me get Patrick.
He's on mute.
You know, his video is frozen. You know, the Joseph Barker internet is kicking in today, unfortunately.
Why you gotta name it like that, Joseph Barker internet?
Yeah, that's why it is. He's the president, so it's called synecdoche. The part represent the whole represents the part. Yeah. So
Okay.
let bring let
Let's
bring.
bring you guys on. Do
Yeah.
we need
So
a
shall
do we need a drum roll or something
yeah,
for that?
before we do the drum roll, do you have the introductory comment? I think I want also introduce him before we bring it. Or what do you advise? Breaking on before we read the introduction. Which one you
Yeah.
advise?
If when someone is on, you give them their flowers. So bring him on, and then you can do the introduction.
Okay, excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to bring on our special guest for today, Honorable John Tarley, the incoming or the potential president of Liberia. Patrick is fighting here to get on here, and now all of them can be practiced to just join us. Yeah, the potential president of Liberia, Honorable John Tarley. I know him myself. I mean, a great, distinguished community leader. Yes, Patrick, internet is not good today, so I'm going to remove him and bring Perkins. Let's see. Hey, Perkins.
Perkins came ready. Perkins came ready.
I told you the man are designer now. The man know the real designer is coming. So we
fought each other, and I seen the purple is given with both for you. Okay, I see that.
Hey, Patrick.
There we go.
Patrick, let's try your audio. No,
Right.
his internet is grappling to this.
Yeah,
So, but let's bring our guest on.
Yes, bring the guest on.
So let's see, Shelley. You were talking about the drum roll. Where is it? You got to get the drum roll for the president and put it on for us. Yeah.
Okay, let's get that. Let's bring the president on. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready as we bring in the incoming president of Liberia, Mr. John Tarley. Okay.
All right, Honorable Tarley. I want to say welcome. Let's see. Let me bring Perkins down here and bring him back this way. Honorable Tarley, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, good. The audio is perfect. I just want to make sure. Pat, our Liberian reporter is struggling here to get on here. Let's see. Yeah, Patrick will join us later. But Perkins.
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we've been procrastinating a little bit. Let's read the profile of our guest here, the statement that was put there in the chat room.
Okay.
Yeah. It says here, ladies and gentlemen, as introduction of our guest, so you can know him a little bit. And himself will also say something about himself, but let's read the statement that we have here. His name for sure is Honorable John P. Tarley. He's a seasoned nonprofit leader, educator, and human rights advocate with over 35 years of experience across Liberia and the United States. Rising from humble beginnings in Liberia, he has dedicated his life to empowering communities through job creation, education, and advocacy. He currently serves as president and administrator of the Delta School of Nursing in Fargo, North Dakota, where he has helped train over 2,500 CNAs, primarily African immigrants, women, creating pathways to economic independence. His past leadership includes transforming the African Assistance Program in Minnesota into a multi-million-dollar organization serving tens of thousands. A pioneer in human rights work during Liberia's Civil War, Mr. Tarley played a key role in advancing justice and influencing refugee resettlement efforts. He also championed small business development, helping market women and entrepreneurs grow sustainable businesses. His life reflects a deep commitment to service, dignity, and transformational leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a little, rich bio, a little bit of the guest. Mr. Tarley, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
All right, so as a kicker here, even though we just read the statement, but I'm the spokesperson for the elders and the ancestors of our people. So I learned under the elders, and so they say I will translate it. I mean, there is something in philosophy they call the problem of translation, right? So I will try it. So they say the water from the mouth of the messenger is cooler than no, I think from the master is cooler than the messenger. So I should put it that way. So you are the master here. Who is Mr. John Tarley? Let's get to know you, sir.
Okay, I want to say thank you again to all of you for the great work that you are doing to create such a platform that will, inform people from Sano, from Liberia, and around the world about what is happening in Liberia, even though this forum is considered as Sano, but anything that is Sano is Liberia as well. So you are doing great job, and I want to say thank you to all of you. Well, for me, John Tarley, most of the time, don't let me talk about myself. The thing I've been doing is that which introduced me all the time. So briefly, you said I served as executive director during the Civil War for National Human Rights Monitor, and I did my human rights work. I was invited to the U.S. by the United States government. A lot of us came here on different programs, but mine it was an invitation to participate in the training of immigration officers who were responsible in dealing with political asylum situation in Liberia. And I participated in the training for 3 months, trained a lot of immigration officers for Liberia that opened a pathway from 1999 to 2005, where you get a lot of Liberians coming from all walks of life. So, and then in Minnesota, I created an African assistance program specifically focused on uh, avoiding Liberians getting on the social welfare program. So now instead of not the quota, I will speak at this hour that so far in the entire state, the Data School of Nursing have the highest passing mark in the entire state. And we train mostly Liberia. Right now, we have a class. Students are on the other side. I told them that I have to engage this forum so we can discuss about great things in Liberia. While we intend to go to Liberia and do the same thing that we are doing here, how can we take it back home and then help our people? So thank you for the opportunity to have me on, and I am prepared to, keep conversation with you.
All right, Mr. Tyler. Thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you are doing. And North Dakota and Liberia, we want to say thank you for your service. So, Shirley, I want you to greet your guests.
Well, Mr. Tarley is no stranger. Mr. Tarley, it's an honor to have you on here. We look forward to talk about your vision, your plan for Liberia, and also your past leadership. What are some of the things that inspire you and that make you taking the bold step, because it is a bold step. Most of the time people will be like, okay, from a leadership perspective, you start with being a senator or maybe a representative to have the people get to know you in quality. But it is a huge step to jump from that or not having any of that at all and going straight to becoming the president of Liberia. So I look forward to having that conversation and asking some questions that our people that are listening, which they have the opportunity to be on here to ask the questions that I will be asking today. So look forward to that. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
Perkins, opening statement. You want to greet the guests, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Tarley, I want to say good morning and welcome to the VSOD. We are privileged to have you on here today. You are a mentor for many of us. You are a role model. You are a leader. And having you on this show today to speak to the Liberian people and to speak to the Sanodians about your plans moving forward is a great thing. And we are all glad to be here. I remember when we talked a little bit, I said, Mr. Tarley, maybe we'll, present you with some information so you be prepared. He said, no, my beginning, don't even try. I don't want to know where the questions are coming from. I will get on the show and then you guys just prepare, just be prepared or to ask me, and I will be prepared to answer. So that was a good one. So we are glad again to have you once again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shelley, before you guys come in, Mr. Tarley, knowing your introduction, you said you trained immigration officers. I mean, do you have background in security?
No, actually, the training was based on the political situation, the human rights and political situation in Liberia. The American people, or I don't want to use black and white thing, but let me just say the American. And when I say American, I mean another group of people. One thing these guys are good at doing is they quick to recognize the effort of the person. And to them, they call you expert. I was expert on the political situation in Liberia at the time as a human rights activist who understand all the human rights stuff that were happening and documenting, reporting. And so they believe I could provide them with the information on Liberia, specifically on immigration issue. Why the group of people were seeking political asylum when they should not be the one and all those things. And so that's how I, I provided that information. For them, they call it training. So I participated in that training by providing the information, the immigration at the time needed to process political asylum cases for specific group of Liberians. And that's what I came to do at that time.
Oh, okay. Okay. Last question on your introductory remarks. You say you currently run a nursing program, CNA or something, or data group of company or school or something. Do you also have a background in the medical area? Because to run a medical school, I think you should have some knowledge in that area.
And that what set me apart actually. When I started as human rights activist, the guy that hired me, the Harry C. Brooks, my former boss, I have no idea on human rights. I went there as secretary. I was a clerk typist. I only took 2 weeks in his office. He said, Mama, you can be clerk typist, you got skill. And he made me the senior monitor for that agency. Let me just make things short. It is vision that can provide leadership. It is vision that can create. It has nothing to do with education. You can be educated, you can be a nurse, you can get a PhD in medical science. You don't have the vision, you can create. I'm using vision to create. And so that's where I am. I've never been a CNA before. I never did anything about nursing. I have no experience in that area, but because I have a vision. And so I created a CNA program that is state approved. In fact, just to be short, I'm the only African nursing assistant program in North Dakota that have contract with the state. The state sends students to my school. I'm the only. I'm the highest. It has nothing to do with being a nurse. It's just vision. And that's the vision I'm taking to Liberia.
Okay, all right. So Shelley, I want you to inaugurate a conversation. Let's get into why the guest is here today. So let's do it, ladies before gentlemen. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you wanting me to let the audience know? I thought we already read that, but yeah, he
No,
is
I
here.
mean like when I say inaugurate, I mean like your first
Asking my
two
questions.
questions. Yeah, two questions. Yeah.
Got you. All right, well, Mr. Tarley, again, I want to welcome you to Voice of Sano in the Diaspora. It's good to have you on here. I think my first question would be your journey from a street vendor, like let's say to a national leadership. First of all, it's powerful. So, how would that experience of what you talk about here, like your experience from, you know, the taking you from Liberia, bringing you here based on your work from Liberia and what you have done with your nonprofit organization. How would that transfer into your leadership or being a president of Liberia?
Okay, so as your people are sometimes people are chosen by God to do specific thing. So as a young boy, waterside, I was selling chicken eggs and sugar. And I saw that thing for almost a whole year. I was doing that thing over there. But I didn't only sell chicken, egg, and sugar. I am a problem solver. I can see a problem and find solution. I'm not a I'm not a problem focused individual. I'm a solution focused individual. When I reached Waterside, I saw the Lebanese or whoever the guy were, sell chicken head. One morning they get the price up, the other day they bring the price down, the other day they get it. The Liberian people were just. So I just sat one day and said, look, you know what? We need a raw competition with these guys. So I created why you do? I was selling sugar, I was selling, eggs, but I created what we call a Liberia Small Business Association. And then we're able to get loan from Lubibet up to $500,000. And the goal was that we will run competition. The same way places they go to get sugar, we will go to the same place. We will become importer as well. And that was a vision. And at the end of the day, we were able to get that money. And some people start to import eggs, some people bringing in sugar, some people bringing in slippers. All the things we're selling, people start bringing those things. Then God say, your mission on this side is over. This is just the beginning of the experience that I'm giving you. That how you brought me into the human rights sector. And then I became a human rights activist. And then I work, as I said, with my former boss, Harry Seabrook, who actually provided me the opportunity to learn how to investigate and document human rights. And I did all of that. Therefrom, I'm not calling name, but an international organization came to me and said, we want you to establish a human rights group for yourself. And then Jocko called my other shot. I created, and then we call it National Human Rights Monitor. I was a least there, but before I came to America, I was the highest when it comes to human rights, documenting, reporting violations and all that. My human rights group at that time was the only human rights group in the Republic of Liberia that decentralized. I have one office in Zweru Grand, Judea County, that overshadowed the Southeast. I have one office in Sinje that overshadowed the Western, and then the Monrovia office. Because then we're doing human rights work. And I'm the only person too at that time who brought dollar to Liberia to get human rights groups in Liberia funded. Because I believe if we empower more people, you achieve more results. So I invited Mandela and they came to Liberia, and I asked them to give funding to other human rights groups that have never received funding before. Just as with the record can prove, if I were not doing a good job, that time we have great guys then, Kofi Wu, Benedict Sana, and all the great, even my own former boss. Why would the United States government recognize me? It was a letter that was sent to me. We were two that were invited, Kofi Wu and myself. And that's how I came. Kofi Wu came later on. Because of the work that I did, and that's how I came to America.
Thank
Anything you do.
Mr. Tarley,
Yeah.
Mr. Tarley, you are a basic man, and we don't want to
make sure we put
if you
in
can
all
keep
of
your
our
answers a little
questions.
shorter. Yeah, so we can get more questions in there. Thank you. Shelley, what's the second question?
Yeah, Mr. Tarley. So, having been someone who worked with you with AAP, the African Assistance Program, where that program started like from the beginning and grew up to, if I'm not mistaken, $11.7 million in budget.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to explain to the people that are watching what happened to that money and what is the starter of that organization as of today. And you know, what, depending on that question, I can do a follow-up question because there was a huge amount of money. But what happened to the organization? What happened to the money? And where is the organization as of today? Where does it stand?
Well, when I entered the U.S. and I was I was in D.C. after the training, I had an office space there also, and we did the best thing we can do. So I moved to the state of Minnesota, and then I saw the need. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to create another human rights group here. And then at that time, it was called African Worker Center. So I focused on discrimination against immigrant employee. And so we grew up from a living room to a multi-million dollar, agency over the period of 14 years, raised over $11 million. And then the agency has been doing great and everything was going fine. And then the decision to close the decision to close came at a time. I don't want to dive into this right now, but I will just give you a little, brief information. When things were improving, then I noticed that there were other people who didn't like what I was doing. And so they started filing allegations against me. They went to the Department of Health, the first stage. They filed allegations against me. John Tyler using the agency's money because people were not understanding. Okay, John Tyler run the organization that had all the money. How did John Tyler get a clothing store? And then how John Tyler get a nursing agency. So people and John Tyler drive the best cars and John Tyler wear the best clothes and John Tyler blah, blah. So, people they didn't like that. And so they said I was using the agency's money. So they went to the Department of Health. We were one of my major donors. And they said they accused me. Department of Health conducted an investigation, came by apologize. John, we are sorry. Okay, that's fine. Let's move forward. 2 years after, they went to the Attorney General's office, Minnesota Attorney General office. John Tyler still using the agency's money. Attorney General office came. They said, okay, John, we will do investigation. I said, go ahead. They did an investigation. The investigation get done. Then they followed after another 4 years again. Then one day I show up to my office and I saw FBI. Not your FBI, the police department of 2 cities, the fraud unit of Hennepin County, the fraud unit of Department of my highest donor, Minnesota Department of Human Services, and then the small crime division of Hennepin County. These were my major donors. They show up in my office, they brought a letter to search. And they came, they searched my office, and then they took all my equipment, everything away, and I just sitting there waiting. And I'm not going into detail to know who did that, but all these steps, I didn't know first it was Liberians that were doing that. I thought it was the other, non-profit organizations that were doing those things. But later on, FBI investigation concluded, we went to court, and then it said, John Tarley, you didn't commit any crime, so you're free to go. And so you see me sit right here. So I decided actually, but before those things were happening, there was something that was happening specifically to my own personal life. So 2 times I got sick and I went to hospital and doctor said, nothing wrong with you. And nothing wrong with you 2 different times. So I was coming out of the church and there was an older lady who came and held my hand. But then I was looking at another person. She just held my hand and I thought it was one of those old ladies on July 26th that can always take on a farm and buy a cow and buy a goat and buy a rice and give it to them every July 26th, celebration to celebrate Liberian independence. So I thought it was one of them. She held my hand and she said, my son, why you can't close your office down for a while? She put it in a Liberian way. Why you can't just close your office down small and go somewhere else to rest? I did not look at that older woman, but I focused on another person. After getting what I wanted, the words sank into my head. Then I turned around to look for the older woman, and she was nowhere to be found. I checked everywhere else. It was Moravian Church. I checked everywhere else for that older woman, and nobody can describe her. I describe her. She had a blue dress and blue hat, hater, and everybody said, but there's no woman that came to church with this, with that kind of clothing. I got in my car, I went home, I cried and I prayed, and I said, God, that you telling me to close the office, then I will close it down. The following day, I called the state and said I was closing down the office. And when I closed the office, I had $380,000 in the agency's account. That's how I closed that office. And so just to go over a little bit about what happened. So now I'm still passing around, having fun, doing my thing. The John Tarley thing I know how to do, I'm still doing that. That's how the agency kind of. But in short, there were 3 Liberians who were doing that stuff just to close the agency down so they can be happy. And they are happy now. So we're moving forward.
All right, Shirley, let bring Patrick. He's struggling. His internet is not too good. So, Patrick, let bring, get your 2 questions in first, please.
Okay, thank you very much. And let me say thanks and welcome to Honorable John Tarley. It's an honor to share this platform with you today.
Thank you.
I briefly read about you. I have not followed you extensively, except recently when you briefly show up on our platform. Your ambition to become president, or as a future president of Liberia, there's not seem
Internet again.
Yeah, the service is not good. That's how we're trying to get into. At least come in first. Yeah, but he will come back later. Perkins, let's see. Let me try you again. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes internet can be very good. So I don't know what is going on with him today. All right, so Perkins, let's bring you on. Let's get 2 questions in, please.
Okay, Mr. Tarley, once again, it's good to have you on the show today. You have an impeccable record when it comes to exactly what you just explained about the field you've been in. But now we are transitioning from the private sector into politics, and so that's a whole different playing field. But Liberian men gotta come on saying is the experience player against solve for justice. So the fact that you have been kind of a public figure who has been dealing with the state and the government like that, you will have some important experiences that you bring to the table. My first question I want to ask you, sir, is have you ever served in any political party or had you occupy any political position in any government in the past before?
The answer is no.
All right. That's good. Very simple question, and I had to deal with that. That darkens you and Shirley will bring all the complication questions. Now, I'll go to my second question. Knowing that you are a son of Sano County and you are vouching now to run for the presidency of Liberia. It says a divided house cannot stand, and charities begins at home. I know you are familiar with the United Sapo Association here in the Americas, and a few years ago, that organization that is established here to help the Sapo people in America and help the Sapo people in Liberia, that organization is now divided into 2 different organizations. So the Sapo Association is here, and then the other one in Minnesota called it SADA. Now, knowing again, like I said, you are a son of Sano County, and charity begins at home. What can you do to unite these 2 groups in America here that will reflect our unity in order for our support beyond you to be one? What can you do to unite us here in America that will extend your leadership to Liberia so that the Sabo people can be together when they're voting for you instead of divided?
Okay. Well, I'm not sure that I want Sabo people to vote for me. I'm not sure that what I want. What I want is for people who believe in my vision to vote for me. Because if Sabo people vote for me and I don't have vision to deliver Liberia, then Sabo people will be making the wrong decision. So I don't want Sabo unity as my strength to contest. I want Liberian people to believe in my vision, why I think I can end poverty. But again, to come to that Sano thing you just talk, the Sabo thing you just talk about, there's one mistake we all continue to make. Realistically, I just do not support the way the two of them, one group, break from the other one. I don't agree with that. But I strongly agree that we should not continue to have one SAPO organization. We can't keep putting our eggs in one basket. That's one. Maybe the other group, because they come in to do the thing the other group doing, so finding them to coexist a little bit, difficult. But if we can strategically say, okay, you, this other group, you focus on business. What they want is nonprofit. The SABO organization will be united. Because if we continue to have only one organization, where the organization fail, the SABO people fail. So for me, I would encourage many organizations that focus on specific aspect of the SABO people life. And then at a bigger level, we also come together at United Sabo Association. And we still have the other group doing different things. Because vision is not about one person. You give people the opportunity to do what they're able to do, then you build leadership. You put people together in one basket, they will start fighting each other. So that's why, to me, I agree that we have the SADA, we have the United Sabo Association. The only thing I don't agree is that SADA should run competition with United Sabo Association. I don't agree with that. Because United Sabo Association was before SADA. SADA can become another organization that focuses on another aspect of the Sabo life. For example, let me just do an example. SADA can say we will be the business part of the United Sabo Association. We will look for money people. We look for, in fact, SADA say we will be responsible to just help Sabo people with their farming. So SADA just focus on farming. Why United Sabo Association focus on donation, school, and all that stuff? And the two organizations can still coexist. And SADA can still come to United Sabo Association. United Sabo Association can still go to SADA. There's no competition involved. But when people don't have vision, these are what happened. So I strongly do not agree that we have one organization. I agree to have SADA. Only thing that I don't agree and I cannot be part of SADA if their goal is to run competition with United Sabo Association. Then I don't agree with that. If SADA focus on something else, USA focus on another thing, but at one level we all meet the need of the Sabo people, then I agree to that. So that is a unity that I think, we need, let everybody have the opportunity to do what they're able to do.
All right, Mr. Patrick, let's bring Patrick, let's give you a shot again. Let's try.
Okay, thank you. So my first question has to do with his ambition. And his ambition must have a platform, a roadmap to developing Liberia or doing something differently from Ellen, from Wia, and President Boyka. So, first of all, let's look at your vision for the economy. looking at poverty eradication, or maybe for the first time making Liberia a post-conflict country on par with Rwanda. What vision do you have differently from those who have served, previously?
Well, I thank you, and that's the reason why I'm here. I'm just answering a few questions, and I will have come back to say, let's focus on what I'm here for. Actually, you and myself, or I'm not sure, where are you? You are in Liberia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. For Shelley, the other group, and myself, we are here in the U.S. What make America different from Liberia? Why we came to America? Why everybody coming to America? Why did they get the same street? They get the same light. They get everything else. Why? I mean, why we left our neighborhoods and the beautiful places we live? People know us. Why did we come? The reason we came here is there's only one opportunity. America don't get school. Nobody came to America because they want to go to school. We don't come to America because they get health care system. We didn't come to America because they get, good roads and light. That's not the reason we came. America get only one thing: job. You can go to school. When you graduate from school, where you go? And you get job. After you graduate from school, you don't get job. What you do in America, then you live on the street. So we didn't come here for school. America create job, and they come to make sure they focus on job creation. And because the job are created, people are paying taxes, the economy continue to grow, and America continue to invest into the economy, making job available to every American citizen. So our strategy is job creation. To end poverty, we must be able to create jobs. And now the strategy we have, there's only one aspect of it I will focus on today. Let's just take, there are two sectors in the world for now. The nonprofit is fighting to become a sector by itself. But we got two sectors. We have a public and we have a private. The private sector that businesses, nonprofit, and all the people. Then we got a public, which is the government side of it. Now, here's America's strategy. I came to the country and I learned a lot. I focus on what you guys do. I learned how to build their roads. I learned how to build their school. They don't just build roads. They don't just build school. Like what is happening in Liberia right now. They didn't just do that. They focus on the economy first. The government invests in a country first. My strategy is one, and you tell me, you are in Liberia now. My strategy number one, I will do public sector for now. Just the government taking the lead, then private sector coming wrong with the idea. Government say, okay, this is what we do. We decentralize the national government. How do we decentralize? Shelley is in Minnesota. I'm in North Dakota. Duke is in Philly. Duke is not too far from Washington, D.C. Ask Duke, how many years have you been to D.C.? If you want to buy a comic book, do you go to Washington, D.C.? If you want to buy a car, do you go to Washington, D.C.? You want your car less simply, do you go to Washington, D.C.? The people decentralize their government. So this is a strategy. Every government office in Monrovia will be decentralized. So Ministry of Education is in Sano, Agriculture is in Sano, driver lesson people in Sano, Transport Ministry in Sano, anything that has to do with every sector of government is also in Sano, it's in Maryland, it's in Grand Gita, it's every part of the country. We call that government investment into the economy. Now you take for Transport Ministry going to Sano, you will know how many government ministries we have. So all the government ministries are in Sano, Maryland, Grand Crew, everywhere else. Tell me how many jobs will be created. It's government that is invested into our own economy. It's, American guys, these guys are very smart. They invest in a country, then private sector come and take over. Then they sit back and start regaining what they have, what they put into the economy. So if, for example, the government of Liberia have 20 ministries. So since we talk about Sando, let me focus on Sando, and then anybody listening from Sando or not from Sando and listen anywhere else, you just take it to your own county. Let's say Greenville. So we go in Greenville, and all the government agencies that in Monrovia go to Greenville. Transport ministry there, foreign ministry there, every ministry in Liberia in Greenville. Let's assume each of them will create 10 jobs, which of course I know they will create more than 10 jobs, but let's just assume labor ministry 10 jobs, agriculture ministry 10 jobs, everybody ministry 10 jobs. Now we got 10 of these ministries, or we got 20. 20 times 10 would be 200 jobs in Greenville. So what happened to the young people of Sando who graduated from the colleges, all the different colleges that have all the experiences that are looking for jobs? Job activity ministry in Sando, in Greenville, in Vonjima, in San Quentin. What is happening? All these Sando citizens are moving back to Sando. Government is the one taking the lead, investing in your own economy first. So create all these jobs. So there are all the 20, let's say 200 jobs in Sando, in job Greenville alone. Now you're taking 200 human beings moving to Greenville. So what happened to the economy of Greenville? You have 200 jobs in Greenville. Now, how does the private sector take over from Greenville? So the old woman that get her farm that sell bitter ball, now she has 200 persons in Greenville.
Mr. Tarley.
Bitter ball. Yeah.
Mr. Tarley.
Yeah.
I'm getting sleepy, right? I want, at least if you can get the answer a little brief, right? I want to make it a dialogue instead of a lecture, right? Yeah, so please, if you can keep the answers brief, that would be excellent so we can get some time. Because again, you are at work and we don't want to keep you in the office all day, So if you can be succinct, that would be, I really appreciate that. Yeah, so and your thought, and then Patrick can come up with second questions.
Okay, so in short, all my job creation strategy is that I will decentralize national government. And by doing so, we'll create more than 200 jobs in each county. Those 200 jobs will support the economy of those counties. And then the ordinary people will benefit from those 200 jobs, giving the private sector the opportunity to invest in Greenville. Then you find out that poverty in Greenville automatically disappears.
Okay, so a follow-up question with that would be, in essence, like Ellen did, like we did, and President Bouakai is now doing, increasing the government wage bill while the results are not felt. That's what you also be doing, in putting more burden on the government's budget. That's what you're talking about as well, right?
No. Joe Weir and Ellen and Bouakai did not do what I just talked about. What they did, they put that burden on government, as you said, for the interest of their personal gain. Bouakai is hiring Unity Party citizens, citizens. That's what Joe Weir did. We created a job in Monrovia to hire sedition. That's what Ellen did in Monrovia to hire sedition. Unity Party people. I am saying these jobs are going to Sando, they're going to Vonjima, they're going to Maryland, they're going to these places. So my strategy is different from theirs. Their strategy is Monrovia based. My strategy is national based.
Thank you so much.
My last question now. So let's talk about security. So if you were the president of Liberia, your national security priority, and in specific reference to this Guinean's aggression or the incursion of Liberian territory, what could you have done swiftly as a matter of urgency to address the situation?
Well, for now, let's assume I were the president at the time the Guinean thing happened, appearing I would have done the same thing that President Walker is doing now, because Guinea action was unexpected. Nobody believed that Guinea would have done that. But knowing what I know now, my security strategy would have now been completely different. The reason I will not discuss security, I will consider that classified for now, is that there are many things that I will do. But let me just make it short. I will model the Liberian security structure after that of the US, where the American government, after the 9/11, created another agency called the Homeland Security. They call it Department of Homeland Security. And what they did, they go on the Justice Ministry and remove the Bureau of Immigration from Justice Ministry and turn it into a ministry by itself. That's the same thing I will do now. I will take the Bureau of Immigration and make it National Security Agency. So call it Ministry of National Security or Ministry of Homeland Security. Then what I will do, I will consider that classified. I will not tell you for now, but that's what I will do. And the purpose of that is now that will be national security focus. Because Guinea action tell us that African or Black people will never do anything right. We can have treated and we can abuse it at any time. So I can no longer rely on Guinea friendship, Mana River Union, ECOWAS, and OAU. And I'm going to remember NFPL anymore. I'm going to put the National Security Library first by creating an agency specifically focused on that. Any other information, how I will do it, I will consider that classified. I cannot share that on the platform right now.
Mr. Tarley, thank you. I just wanted to get a few things clear before I get to the main subject. I like to, because I want the audience to know you. So the first thing is the data school that you have right now. How many students or staff do you have right now?
I can't tell you how many students I have because it's a gradual process. North Dakota is 12 students per class, but that most of the time I always have more than 12 students. So I kind of run morning and afternoon. And then it's 3 weeks, but I take more than 3 weeks because of the condition of our people. They don't read fast, they're slow to learn. So I give more time for them to learn. So yes, but I have with staff, I have the DON, I have 2 persons that are doing the test. I have another person who is helping me with administration, managing, doing administrative things. So technically we have about 5 persons, including myself.
So what is the budget of the school?
Well, the school is not a budget operational school, but the nurses, whoever work at the school, get paid. So we not setting budget. Say, okay, we use $10 million because it's hour. It is an hourly kind of stuff. The hour you put in, the hour you get paid for. But technically, our monthly budget has never passed $10,000. It's always between 5 and 10.
All right, just so I'm clear though, so you're running an institution, you don't know the capacity in terms of students. Is that correct?
No, it's just that maybe you did not understand what I said. I said, so take for this class, the state of North Dakota required that I should have 12 students. So for this class, I have 12 students in the morning. And then maybe I have 5 students in the evening. So if you pass 12 and 5, then that's 17 for this class. After 3 weeks or 1 month, the class is done. Then it's another class, and that class will have 5 students. So I can give you specific. It's not a university where you say we have 200 students. It's not like that. It's a time by time. Students come in and students leave. That way I can give you specific.
Okay, fair enough. So let go, because I'm kind of kind of have a little concern about your history, your leadership history. So you established a couple of organizations, you know, so Liberia Small Business Association, you got African Assistance Program, you have a human rights group, you said, and then you had, I mean, which I also know, clothing store. All these facilities are closed, Mr. Tarley. Why? Were you not able to train people to run them in your absence? Why did you establish all these different entities, but not are functioning right now beside the school you run right now?
Well, like I said, for the Liberia Small Business Association, when leadership called to become a human rights activist, I turned it over to Liberia, and then I move on. Whatever happened there, I didn't go back to say, even if I train people, if they choose to follow the law, they will. If they choose to abuse, they will. That's one. I came to the African, what you call the National Human Rights Monitor. When I came to the U.S., Mr. Taylor was president at the time. So after he found out that it was my agency that reported the September 18 massacre that happened on Ken Johnson Road, he sent people at my office. In fact, they attempted to arrest me on Broad Street, and then journalists came by, and then they left, and then they promised they would arrest me later on. And I was not sleeping at home from place to place. Then later on, the U.S. government invited me. I came, and the people that in Liberia got afraid, and so they closed the office. That's why the office in Liberia closed. The one in the data school, how you call it, the African Assistance Program in Minnesota, of course, I said, I was told about all that was happening, and so based on what was happening, I decided that I'll go to close the agency. So the actual agency I closed is the one in Minnesota, which is the African Assistance Program. I closed that one. And so that what happened to those agencies.
So, but the clothing store at Brookdale Mall, what happened to it too?
Brookdale moved, and then before the one at Brookdale Mall, they were also having another one at Ridgedale Mall, the second largest mall in the state. I'm the only Liberian that time that could have clothing store in those areas. So the clothing stores were there, and of course, as I said, when I was closing the office in Minnesota, I closed the stores in Minnesota, then I moved them to Fargo, and I also had a clothing store in Fargo. And then I went to Liberia for 5 years while I was there. What happened personally between my fiancé and myself is another story, so I'm just leaving the other story. I'm not telling it for now.
All right, fair enough. Yeah. So Mr. Tarley, I read your platform, which I thought was interesting. So I want to kind of look at specifics in the program, and you just said it in your intro as well, talking about ending poverty. So I try to be a little focused, so I wrote some questions here. So the first question with reference to that, I said, you claim you will end poverty on your first day in office.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a policy? I want to frame it this way, right? I don't like that framing better. So this is how I want to frame it. You say you will end poverty on day one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Can you point? Listen, let me finish the question. Can you point to any country in the world, or in the modern world, or in modern history, if you like, that has achieved such? And if not, why should Liberians believe you?
Okay, so let us qualify the question first. Is it because I said on day one, or is there any country on earth that have achieved ending poverty? Which one are you asking?
So I'm going with your phrasing. Your phrasing is, yeah, I'm following you. So your phrasing is, you're going to end that. I'm going off of what you wrote on the paper. You're going to end poverty on day one. So I'm asking, is there a country in modern history that has ended poverty on day one? If no, is it just a political rhetoric? You're just trying to woo the people on your side to vote for you? Is that the plan here?
Okay, so let me put it this way. Let me just turn the question around a little bit. If there was anybody, if the white man who went on the moon were a Liberian, and he said, I will go on the moon, somebody from Liberia would have asked him, is there anybody on earth that have gone on the moon before you? If a white man who created ship were a Liberian, the first question Liberian men will ask that white man, even the kingdom you have right here, you can't even ride better. You will say you build something, you put it on the water or people will carry it. Vision has nothing to do what others have done. What vision does is that vision find a way. Everything other people did, no one have done those things before. They were the first to do those things, and people came and they borrowed after them. So to answer your question, I don't want that question, has anyone done it before? Because about anyone doing things before, then we'll not have electricity, we'll not have cars, we'll not have airplanes, we'll not have those things. Because no one did those things before. It was one person that came out to say I would do it, and they did it. So on that note, I would be the first if no one have done that.
So Mr. Tarley, I think I'm looking at how realistic is it? Because you're talking about leading your country with 6 million people, and you are saying on day one you're going to end poverty. Is it realistic or just a political rhetoric?
Now, what I kept on saying, you are still not understanding, because maybe you are seeing the word day one. Of course, on day one, I will end poverty. You said you want me to just give answer. You don't want me to explain, because if I explain, then you will fall asleep.
So, no, I want you to explain, but be succinct. Exactly. That's what I want you to do. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That just said on day one, I will end poverty. And my strategy, as I said, first of all, I will focus on decentralizing government on day one. On day one, I will create, just how many counties we have? Times 200. 200 times 15 counties. I will create that amount of thousands of jobs on day one. Also, the same day one, I will invest in the private sector, whereby all private sector, I will focus on Liberians becoming millionaires in their own country. Instead of inviting investors, I will freeze investment. No investor coming into Liberia. Liberia government will be the one that will invest in Liberian businesses. Those Liberian businesses will create thousands of jobs on day one. On day one, Liberian, what we call Saro County Development Fund, Nima County Development Fund, that senator and representative are fighting over. That's the reason why they want to be represented. They're not being represented because they want to help the people, because money in there. I will take that money and I will create the other sector, they call it non-profit sector, where Saro County will have our own Saro County Economic Development Fund. That citizens of Saro County will apply to that fund to create non-profit organizations all over Saro. Some in Vubadi, some in Maryland, East Johansson, some all over, focusing on the Liberian people. So by the time you find out the distribution of the nation's economy, or nation resources to the people, even though I'm not saying somebody will not sleep hungry tonight, I am saying the end of poverty begin on day one. The action we take on day one will end poverty in day three. And that's what we say when we say we end poverty on day one, is that we take action that will end poverty moving forward.
Okay, before I bring the other guys, I think saying you talk about decentralization. So the question on this one is, Mr. Tarley, what is the projected cost? And can you confirm what other taxes will increase to fund what you are talking about right now? What is we want to know the cost? And will you raise taxes on people because this is cash intensive? How are you going to let's get that clear for us, please?
Okay. Now, there is something that my training in nonprofit and raising money in this area taught me. Anytime the government says her budget is $1 billion, let me just give you a simple example. Government say our budget is $1 billion, for example. That means that government is talking about the expenditure budget. Government is not telling you about the income budget. No government in Liberia ever said the government of Liberia will receive $2 billion and will use $1 billion to do our expenses. Government don't do that. Government of Liberia don't do that. There is no government on earth that will budget exactly their intake. What does that mean? If the government tell you my budget is $2 billion, $1 billion, that means the government have another $1 billion in reserve, or at least $500 million in reserve. That's what the government is telling you. So they give you the expenditure budget, but they don't give you the overall income budget. What I am saying is that when I become president, the money that is reserved, I will put that money back into the economy. That's what I'm saying. So whatever budget we already have there, the money we have as reserve that you don't know about, nobody else know about, I will bring that money back into the national budget. And that's the money I will use to handle all those things that I just talked about. But here is a key point. You, Duke, let me speak to you specifically. Why do Americans give tax return? What is the purpose? You've been in America all these years. Can you explain to your audience the tax return America gave? What was the logic behind it? Can you tell anybody? You do.
Mr. Tarley, you are the guest right now. If I'm in your position, I will answer that question. But please go ahead.
Good. The reason America gave tax return is not because they love you or myself. The tax returns are intended for their investment into the private sector. They can go to Walmart and say Walmart will give you $2 million, or Target will give you $5 million. That's not what they do. So their strategy is they give the money to the citizen. They give $2,000. Then you have the $2,000 in your hand. Now you say my TV sport, so you go buy the TV. So that money given it to the business guy. I need to buy the new car. You buy it from a new car. I need to buy this one. By the time you finish buying everything you want to buy, you have the thing, but then the money returns to the private sector. And then what happens is that each time you buy those things, you pay taxes. And each time the person receives it, they also pay taxes. So by the time government gave you $3,000, by the time the money leave your hand and pass through to come back to government, she received $4,000 or $5,000 in tax return. That's the same strategy I'm taking to Liberia. I will invest in the country, then I'll sit back and let private sector bring the money back into the national economy.
Okay, I don't want to monopolize the conversation. So, Perkins, what's the next question? I got tons of questions. I don't want to. If I would just go ahead and the other guys would just be sitting by. So, but Perkins, do you have questions for Mr. Tarley?
Yes. Okay. Mr. Tarley, so far you have given some good answers to the questions being asked, and your people are listening to you. Let's keep it up. My next question will be, what is the name of your political party again, Mr. Tarley? That is not the question, that just clarification.
National Freedom Party of Liberia.
National Freedom Party of Liberia.
So
then my next question will be, what will the political leader of the National Party, Freedom Party of Liberia, I'm sorry if I'm not calling it correctly, I'll get used to it. What will the political leader of that party do differently that will resonate with the people of Liberia in order to win a first round election? Knowing that the last time, if I'm not mistaken, the last time any government or any party won a first round was during the Charles Taylor government, and one can argue that those were not normal times, that the Liberian people was afraid that when Taylor wasn't going to be elected, he was probably going to go back in the bush and start war. So even the songs and celebrations that brought him to power were not normal. You came on power, we'll vote for you, were not normal things that we said. So, but that was the one time that our election went for one round and one political party took it. Since then, it been Ellen, George Weah, and Bwaka, and these three parties ruling to a second round. But you are saying you will win first round automatically. So what will you do differently that will actually resonate with the voters in Liberia that will give you that first round victory? What you do differently?
Okay. Like I said, and I want you guys to listen a little bit. You see the thing that they call vision. The Bible says, write a vision and make it plain. Most of the time we are educated, but we don't have vision. So even when somebody say, I will go on the moon, you say, my man sit down right here, you ate your driver, you not even climb the tree over there that you don't want to go on the moon. That Liberian mentality. That mentality has never stopped me. Because no Liberian person will ever believe if I will tell them that I will create a non-profit organization in Minnesota and will raise $1 million. No Liberian person will believe me. So I'm not moving about people believe. I'm moving about the vision and the strategy I have to achieve that vision. I'm taking my message to the Liberian people. Right now, my movement is moving gradually. We're not making noise. We're letting Liberian people know who are we, what we will do to end poverty, our strategy we are bringing to end poverty. That's the message we are taking to the Liberian people. And I am 100% sure Liberians are tired of poverty. No one political person, whether from San or any part of Liberia, that can give a clear vision of how they will end poverty besides the National Freedom Party of Liberia. And so our strategy is we are engaging the people and we're giving them the freedom message. Before I end this question, I don't want another question to come because sometimes Liberian people can do this stuff. One of my relatives was advising me, when you go to a town, you will get the people back on red, then you get them cow meat, then you get them this thing to keep the momentum going that the way they will vote for you. I said, me, John Tarley, I would never do that. You will vote for me without me buying you back on red. Because the reason is simple. You choose to live the life you live, or you decide we end poverty together. Our strategy is letting those who can end poverty come together, and then we work together, and then we end poverty together. We're not bribing people. We're not involved in your thing you do is sano, we call the other one talk and do, and call the other one building bridges and building roads and sending people children to school, get a scholarship. We're not doing that crap because that's what they do. Then they get in power and abuse the same people again. That's the message we are taking to the Liberian people, and they are tired. Liberians will listen to us, and when we election, first one, and after our election, after we shall have taken office, there will be no more be second round thing in Liberia. We will end that. And the reason we end that, both for you, Duke, and the young man who is in Liberia, ask a question. Will you be putting burden on the budget? Now tell me, if we have second round, is that not a burden on the budget? If Liberian people decide to have 50 political parties, they decide to have 50 political parties. Citizens don't have problem with that. If the 50 political party go in a race, if Mr. Paul is the one that had 25% of the 50 political party and win the 25% as first one, Mr. Paul automatically become president. We don't have to have second round to take the people money and invest it again so that politicians can divide the country as elephant meat all the political party people forming, nobody coming up with a vision. People forming political parties, so at the end of the day, when election go to second round, so they can sell their seat to other people, then they get job. We will end that stuff. That every cent that belongs to the Liberian people will be given to Liberian people. So a law of Liberia allows 200 political parties. We agree with that. 200 of them go in a race. After the person that wins the first round, that person automatically becomes president of Liberia. You will see all the political parties that coming around forming over the night. They will all dissolve, and the country will have only 2 or 3. That's a strategy. We come to Liberia. We're not coming there to joke. We come to do something new. And Liberia will experience something new. And you will come on the same platform after 2029. You will say, a Liberian said this thing on our platform. And for true, what he said is what is happening. It's true. Even the sky is not our limit. Because we can get
Mr. Tarley, I mean, I think you the first weapon of a politician is the ability to persuade, and I think you have that so far. Perkins, let's get your last question in so we can go to Patrick.
Okay. My last question, thank you for that answer, Mr. Tarley. Thank you very much for that answer. My next question now will be knowing that Liberia needs to be self-sufficient in food production, which is a gateway to almost every country's economic prosperity. How can you improve our agricultural sector if you become president?
1 second.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, I'll put you on stay for now. So guys, again, I don't want to monopolize the conversation, but I have tons of questions for the guests, you know, because the more he talks, the more questions are popping out in my head, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So Shelley Bossman, I mean, he has a plan. He can explain the issue, but it's more of a theory, you know, than practical, right? Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing right now. He giving up theoretical stuff, but I want to see how that actually going to, because
I think we should also have a time to open up for questions, the phone line, because I have someone send me a question here, but
yeah, we can probably do that.
Let us hear what the person was saying first. So somebody was saying something when I said 1 million guy.
Yeah, no, I was asking my last question.
Yeah, what was it?
So the last question again, let me repeat myself. Knowing that Liberia needs to be self-sufficient in food production, and that is mainly what opens doors for economic prosperity for many countries. Now, knowing that, what can you do to improve our agricultural sector when you become president? What will you do to improve that sector?
I have in my platform what I call agriculture, the agriculture development plan. Agriculture is my number 1 sector I'm going to invest in. I did a presentation. You know, I don't want to waste you guys' time. I did a presentation the 5 years I stayed in Liberia. I carry a project in Liberia. Actually, when I left Fargo, Minnesota, Fargo, North Dakota, a lot of people say, John Tarley ran away and John Tarley blah, blah, blah. But this is how I went. I wrote a proposal to a donor, and I got $2.5 million. That's how I went to Liberia. I carried $2.5 million. It's agriculture. The donor needed only 2 things. Either the bank sign on to that proposal because I'm an individual. They don't know an individual. They wanted it to be institutionalized. So either the bank sign and bank promise they will give 10% matching fund. And or the government of Liberia sign on it and say they will give a 10% matching fund. Since I was a citizen in America, and active in America, I took the advantage that CDC were going to sign on that. That's how I went to Liberia. That other story by itself. I went to World Bank. I did an agriculture project presentation to World Bank. They said if this is what you would do, World Bank can give 15 million. Only if the government sign. I went to African Development Bank. They said African Development Bank can give 35 million. As only if the government agreed. I went to the Swedish government. They said we can give $5 million. The Swedish government, $5 million was in a process when President Bouazizi took over. And I didn't wait because they changed the whoever was there. The Swedish ambassador was replaced with a new person. Then I came back to the US. So agriculture is what I am going to do. Is the center. The reason I will not tell you the step by step is they don't tell the politician you have in Liberia, they are listening, and then they will steal my step. That's why I'm not showing that to you. But agriculture is primary number one in my strategy. Honor the private sector, the development player.
Okay.
I mean,
All right. Just a follow-up.
President, you got 3 already. You got 3, and you did a follow-up before your 2 questions.
No, I have not done a follow-up, and the way he answered my question, that what needed me to get the follow-up.
Okay, go ahead.
Because, Mr. Tarley, I understand that you don't want to let the cat out of the bag when it comes to what you got on your proposal or your agenda to change our agriculture setup. But at the same time, we must understand you are asking for the Liberian people votes. So in order for the people to vote for you, they must know what your plan is. So if telling the Liberian people that ABC is what I will do to change the agriculture setup will encourage them to vote for you. Now, just because you have that idea does not mean Joseph Bouazizi going to go jump in it right now and going to do. Even when Joseph Bouazizi do it, that will be a glory to you. So it will be profitable or for you to at least explain in detail a little bit more on how you will open that sector.
Perkin, I said, you said, what will you do? I already show you where I have money from. And I just said World Bank.
Okay.
And I just said African Development Bank, where I will get the money from. And I already told you that part. Now, what I'm not telling you is how I'm going to do it until, remember now we are in 2026. We got 2027. We got 2028, then before 2029. Anybody, any criminal minded who gets to know that sitting people out there is number one, they got 2 years to do that. Now, the reason I will not tell you, Perkin, when it reaches the time, when time is closer, before I tell Liberian people how I will change the Perkin, I'm not changing the agriculture sector. I am using agriculture to create millionaires in Liberia. That is a sector. The sector is not about food. The sector is for wealth. Wealth through job creation. Because I understand my strategy very well. And so therefore, I will not tell you exactly right now. And I will not say it. I'm saying this particular forum is not the time yet for me to say that. So let's move on to the next question. No matter how you turn it around, I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to do it. But I'm letting you know that
Mr. Tarley, quickly though, how many millionaires did you create? Because you are in a country with millionaires, the United States, the African Assistance Program. We can go through the other agencies. How many millionaires do you create? Or do you have to go to Liberia before you create the millionaires?
Are you asking a question for an audience, or you are honestly asking me the question?
I'm honestly asking because again, politicians.
I don't want to know, honestly, right?
This is why I'm asking, because politicians before you are politicians coming to us now telling us things. They have told us things before. We have poverty reduction on Ellen Johnson, Sally, and those different things. Nothing come to fruition. But you are talking about creating millionaires through agriculture. I'm saying Thomas Aquana said the past is the key to the present. You said before you have an organization and you are running one right now. How many millionaires have you created in the world richest country?
Okay. If my agency, African Assistance Program, a Liberian who you know came on a refugee startup from Guinea, from Sierra Leone, wherever, Ivory Coast, Ghana, they came to America, who actually cannot read or who could read little. And if they were to go to the mainstream American institution, no matter what they do, they will not succeed. When they come to my agency, and I walk them through until they get success. And those individuals become people who generate income for themselves. And those same individuals go to Liberia and build houses in Liberia. Who build those houses? Is that an individual or is it John Tarley that built those houses? Let me tell you, my son.
Mr. Tarley, the analogy, I don't follow it. Like you say, you went to school, a teacher taught you, and you pay your schoolhouse, so the teacher built a school. I mean, like, you don't follow the logic.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying here is that a person who sees the future is different from the one who is looking at the future. Your question is based on looking at the future, based on the past.
Yeah, but Mr. Tarley, before then, when you were the leader for an organization, were you not looking at the future? How many millionaires did you create? That's what I want to know, because when you were a leader at the time, you were looking at the future.
And I just said the millionaires are created are numbers I cannot.
Please name one for us, for the record. Just name one person.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You just have to understand. I ran an organization as a person, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. This one, I am going to be a president of a country. Two things. That's why I said your question is based on what you are looking at than what you see. Now,
Mr. Tarley, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. The reason I'm interrupting, Mr. Tarley, the people that create millionaires are business people. You have been running businesses, and you are not produce one millionaire. But you say you have to be president in order to create millionaires. That's my problem. And that business people can create millionaires.
That's a point that you are still not understanding. When I started my conversation, I said the United States of America. If the business people create millionaires, let me just go by what you just said. Without the involvement of the government, during Bill Clinton time, when they how you call it, the airplane, let me just
9/11.
No, the airplane in industrial fire bankruptcy. Were they not billionaires when they filed bankruptcy? Who came to their aid? Was it not government? When
Mr. Tarley, a different thing you are talking about. You are talking different thing. You are talking about rescuing people here.
You are addressing me as an individual. I am speaking as a government. What you're trying to do is that bring my individual into government. I'm telling you my strategy of how I will create millionaire in the country is when I become president. I'm going to invest into the private sector. The investment of government in the private sector will be the one that will create those millionaires in the private sector. That's what America is doing. They invest in the private sector. The America invested in the private sector, That's how the private sector began to create jobs, and then the people in the private sector became millionaires. They were not.
The lady
Is it my
that on
turn
the
now
show
to
for
ask my questions?
I'm after the question. I'm not asking question, Mr. Tarley. Shirley worked with you before, and Shirley told us you are running on $11.7 million budget. And right now, Shirley cannot tell me she is millionaire.
No,
I mean,
but
and you say you're gonna create millionaires in Liberia. It's just kind of hard to believe. But let me bring the next person in. Let me bring the next person in.
No, wait a minute before you bring another person in. This is why you still not understanding. I was running an organization. I was not running a business. Yeah, it was under the private sector. I received donors' money. And the money I received from donor created millionaire. And that's why you still now want to get. Why the 1 million.
You're asking for 1 millionaire, you can't name it, Mr. Tarley.
That's why I kept on telling you, if you give me the chance, then you understand the millionaire that I created. I created millionaires. Let me tell you, dude, that old woman who sat in her village and don't have means of brushing her farm for her to have food on her table. If you went to her with your $200 and you pay a group of boys to brush her farm and you give her a cutlass so that she can make her farm, when that woman food become ready, that food alone is millionaire to her. That's why you're not getting. When you empower people, the people you empower, that's what I said, those Liberians that came, at the time all of us came, who could not get job, that I helped to get job, and now I become taxpayer in America. Those Liberians are the ones who building houses in Liberia. You still asking me that I not created a millionaire yet? Then I don't know where you want me to create a millionaire. But for your information, the money was given to me to spend it, to run a program, to pay my staff. So I was not using the money as investment. It was a budget that was given to me, and I was using the money, and that by use of that money is what make your family person, your sister, your friend, everybody else to have job. Like here in my school, when people come here, they hardly read. They go to other mainstream American schools. They take the test there, they fail 3 times. They come back at my school. Then I say, you will sit there and I'll train you. And they sit there and I train them, and they take the test and pass. Then they get a job that pay them $25 an hour. You still asking me for who are the millionaire? So is that woman not a millionaire? What? Because you don't see millionaires.
The Tarley of $25 an hour does not make you millionaire. But let's bring Shirley. What's your question? What's your question, Shirley?
She is a millionaire to her.
All right, Mr. Tarley. Let Shirley,
Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I absolutely love the discussion. You know, your perspective of being a millionaire versus Mr. Tarley's perspective of being a millionaire. That's a really interesting dialogue. I love it. How do you plan to engage the Liberian diaspora as partners in national development?
Partners in national development. Okay. I'm not planning to engage diaspora, local. I'm not planning to do that. I am planning the same system the American government created that gave me the opportunity as a Sapo man from Sando County, from a little town, to come to America and temper and play in their money, use it. That the same opportunity I will create. I will just look for Liberians, where you diaspora or you in Liberia, wherever you are. You have a vision of how we can end poverty. I will invest in your idea and we will end poverty. So I'm not doing diaspora, or I'm not being specific on a group of people. Now, let me turn the question the other way. The actual enemies of Liberia are the diaspora Liberians. We are the one who go to Liberia, get jobs in Liberia, steal money in Liberia, and bring it back to the United States. We the same Liberian who go to Liberia, everything in America we learn, we go to Liberia and do the opposite, as 200-degree opposite, because Liberia is a country that can never improve. We believe that. And so we go to Liberia and do the wrong thing in Liberia, because the people in Liberia consider us as people from America. The people from America. So to them, we know everything, even though we are the problem in the country. So my focus will not be on where you are. My focus will be on the vision you have. How can you be part of what I'm doing, what the government is doing? How can we end poverty and create our own local media? This is our focus. So to answer your question, that's what we will do.
Okay, Madison, if you guys can permit me, I have one more question of my own, but then there's a question, questions that was sent to me. Maybe I can read one of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Can we be Brandon? Yeah, go ahead. Get a question and then you can read.
The question of my own would be, as someone who I would say grounded in your faith, because at one point when you left from here and went back to Liberia, you were, or if you are still a pastor for your church, how were your values as a pastor or someone who is grounded in your faith and services? How will it influence your decision making in leadership?
And that has always been what I've been doing, even on my job. I always put God first, and I always use the value of God. Fairness. Fairness has been my way of life. Shirley, you work with me. Can you show me any program officer in my office that made less than $35,000 when you were there? Was there even the girl that was sitting at the front desk? Was she making just somebody with your answer phone? This is AAP. How may I help you? Please transfer me to Sherry. Then she transferred the person to you or to me or to another person. Did she make less than $28,000? No. All that money I was managing, they belong to people, because that's a budget I sent. So I used the budget for the people for whom the money was intended. A typical Liberian will be in Liberia by now. With all the $1 million that pass through my hand, they will take it for their personal benefit and pay people chicken change. But I believe in what God said. I believe in the value, my Christian value is a key to everything that I do. What is for me is for me. What belongs to Paul is for Paul. So that same value is what I am breaking into leadership. And that what I know that Liberia will prosper. Because I'm not going to Liberia for my personal gain. If I'm on personal gain, then I will not go to Liberia. Because right now where I sit, I just spent 5 years in Liberia, I came back. Where I sit now, I can't get a camera around for you to see my school. My school is the funnest in the entire city. I just came back up. It's the funnest. Everything else is funded. And just to know, I'm the only school. Now you will argue this one. You can do your research. The only lesson school in the United States of America, me, John Tarley, my school is the only school that pays nurse $100 per hour. Show me one school you know in the whole United States.
You say what, nurse?
Nurse.
That pay the nicest that help.
Like what level is it? LPM, RN, BSN?
Nurse, just the thing that carry nurse. So by you, nurse. As soon as you enter my office, I pay you $100 per
So
hour.
the LPM and the RN and BSN, they get the same pay?
Depending on the work that you do. That's why I say once you are a nurse, you get paid $100 an hour. That's what I just said. I the only school in the entire United States of America, because I believe in the Christian value that sharing makes an organization stronger. Because I share with African Assistance Program, all of you, the educated people, were able to stay in the agency. If I pay you $25,000 that time, you will have left. Other people are paying them $20,000, they will have left. I pay my staff more money so they stay and they do the work, then I achieve the goal. That's what I'm bringing to Liberia. Liberian citizens will have their money and they will contribute to the economy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So Shirley, what the question
I'm
for the
gonna read
audience?
a
Who can
guy
bring
question.
passion? Yeah.
I wanted to read this guy question. One of his questions he gave two, but I'll just do one. He said you was at some point you supported President Joseph Boycott. What quality of vision did you see in each of them? So you supported George Weah, you supported Joseph Boycott. What quality of vision did you see in each of them that in your support? First, are they supporting you in the process of you expressing that you're going to run? And then, more importantly, if you were to become president of Liberia, what could you do different in terms of leadership that they are doing now?
So number one, CDC, I saw CDC as a party of us. I thought we're the same age group, we're the same people with who see the problem of Liberia. So I didn't join CDC because of George Weah. I joined CDC because of the people in CDC. And so I said, because majority of us are here in America, so we go back to Liberia and we end poverty among our people. So that's why I joined CDC and I supported CDC. When CDC was not doing that, when few persons decided that, okay, they were to hijack the party by their political strength, then I decided during this gun election that Joseph Boycott, considering Boycott working as vice president before, and he's a cool, calm old man, coming young, cool, calm, Liberian citizen. President Boycott visited Minnesota. Every time he came to Minnesota, I was on the team of Liberians that met with him, that escorted him wherever he had to go. So then I felt that, okay, I think something different will happen. But then it also did not happen. So then we can keep supporting people when we have a vision that can end poverty, and we keep supporting people doing different things who only have one politic for their selfish gain and not the people. And so therefore, there is time now to change the game around. And that's the reason why we're not supporting the both of them, anymore. And what would I do differently is what I just said. I have a vision. My vision is to end, poverty. How would I end poverty? Private sector and public sector, the public sector and the private sector working together. The strategy that I designed, investing in using the public sector to invest in the private sector. So in Liberia, say, since we get iron ore, a Liberian man come and say, we need $5 million to build an iron ore processing plant in Liberia. Liberian government will say, here's a $5 million, build a plant. And in the next 10 years, that Liberian become a millionaire. Will he pay the money back? Absolutely yes. Okay, salute to him. He will pay the money back. Another Liberian person say, since we get rubber in Liberia, we want to create a rubber processing plant. So what you need? $10 million. Liberian government say, yes, it's $10 million. 2 months after, he become a millionaire. That's how you create local millionaires. All the guys are not just millionaires. It's people who invested in them, in their idea. Look at the board that have Facebook. They didn't have a single dollar. The one you call but whatever need you carry. They didn't have a single dollar. Even Bill Gates.
So Mr. Tarley, that's why you myself go back and forth, right? And that's why I have the concern. My concern.
Government and individual invested in their idea. And because they invested in their idea, today they become the millionaire. And they're not only millionaire, they created other millionaire along with them.
Yeah, but Mr. Tarley, the taxpayer, or if you let the government of America, they have financed your idea of creating NGOs, right? Are you a millionaire?
He said what again? Say that again.
Because you said people have ideas, they have visions, right? And then people give them money to build their vision. You are then having the vision of building NGOs and stuff like that. And the government of America, different agencies, they have given you money to build the vision. Are you a millionaire?
No, Joe, you need to understand that non-profit is not to make profit. So because the money they give me is not to make profit, the money they give me is to invest in individuals who the individual will become self-sufficient. That's the purpose of the money. Now, if you ask me, the school that you are running is not a non-profit. My school now is a business. So my plan of becoming a millionaire in the next 3 years, if I don't go to Liberia, is one. Plan number one. Currently now, I moved from CNA to a Med Aid. Now I am offering Med Aid. Now I have my curriculum in process. Maybe a year or two from now, you will hear a Liberian citizen in the state of North Dakota own a nursing unit, a college. Then I college, then I sit. Now where the number, how many students you have, that where the number come in. Then when that number come in, then I sit. In 5 years time, you will come to me and you will count me as one of the millionaires. So you see, as I said, it's visual. And everything else you see me do, the state of North Dakota is investing in my idea. That's why they give me students and they pay me the highest. My students are $1,200. The state when they send student to me is $1,500. Because you know what I do? I give them a vision that they are.
Mr. Tarley, out of curiosity, how much do you worth right now?
$200 actually.
No. All right. I like the phone. Let bring Patrick in. I like Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you, John Tarley. And so let's go further with what you've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Every leader who aspires to come to leadership must be abreast of the Liberian Constitution, because when you eventually win, you will have to swear an oath of office to protect that very Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Constitution of Liberia, at least it provides specific answer to how the government or the state can go about solving the economic problems of the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, for your reference, maybe you can check Article 6 of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with all these things you're talking about here, I don't know if you have read Article 6, if you have done and you are abreast of it, how do you intend to make use of it, maximum use of it, so that the people and their problems are solved? Because that's the only solution to the people's
Article
problem.
6, let's read it to the Honorable.
Yeah, really.
All right.
Article 6, he said. So the Article 6 of the Constitution is saying the Republic shall, because of the vital role assigned to the individual citizen under this Constitution for the social, economic, and political well-being of Liberia, provide equal access to educational opportunities and facilities for all citizens to the extent of available resources. Emphasis shall be placed on the mass education of the Liberian people and the elimination of illiteracy. So what is the point you're making, Patrick?
So the point I'm making here is the key to every nation's success is education. So once people are not educated, they don't have the technical skills and knowledge, nothing works for them. So how do you intend to make use of this particular, aspect of the Constitution?
Okay, Patrick. Let me tell you, there's something about the thing we call education. I don't want to throw words at people, but I don't agree to that thing, that education is a key to success. It's a big lie. Education has never made anybody successful before. It never made any country successful before. Education had nothing to do with that. Because if education was a key to success, then the guy who created education, what education did he have? So it's not true. That's what they make us to believe. So we go to school and we learn so many things, And we turn it around in the same box. Now here is it. The guy that created the thing they call ABC and the one that created 1, 2, 3, that vision, education had nothing to do with that. That vision that put those things together and then they become ABC. As somebody said, we need to count. When we get things, we need to count them 1, 2, 3 in their data. Then they say, let's name it this way.
Mr. Tarley, I hate to do this. If education is not the key to success, why do you have an educational institution?
If you are interrupting me, then
all right, I apologize, but it's just that some of the things you were saying.
You're still not understanding what I'm saying. This young man is discussing Liberia as a country, Africa as a continent, Europe as a continent, America as continent. Let you go by your definition of education. Let you go by it. If all the people are educated, why there is poverty in Liberia? Why Liberians are running from Liberia coming to America? Why?
Let me shoot my question for you. Yeah. So saying you don't agree, saying it's a lie. Even though I don't agree with you, because the context in which the framers of the Constitution, or even the great thinkers who propounded that particular theory that education is a key to success, even American author Francis Wallace said, book most nations. Well, while the context in which they speak is different from what you are thinking, let make progress on this one. So you form a party, the National Freedom Party of Liberia. That's your part. That's a party, and so you are not different. You are not different from Charles Bronson the late. You're not different from how they call himself, Sherman. Okay, you're not Barney Sherman. You're not different from Arizona Cummings, and you would not be different from Duncan, from Sir Duncan and Sir Joseph, and all the folks who have established, political parties just to fit in the same system. You want to criticize that because people want to go to sell a seat in the second round. Now, if you were a sedition, before, or were a UPS before, and then you feel that they are not doing it, why can't you come down to the country, find a way around some of the parties that are making headways, maybe the Liberty Party, the CDC, or the Unity Party, or any other party, for example, find a way around it, make the move like the people of Ghana are doing. One minute. That when Ghana, after Ghana came from her dark days, they got several parties, but at least the two most leading parties are the NPP and the NDC. And anybody who wants to become president, you either win on the ticket of the NPP or the ticket of the NDC. In Liberia, this seems to be the contest we are heading to. Unity Party or CDC. Maybe somebody else will win too. So what do you find your way through one of them instead of forming another political party, making the number of political parties now in the country to 30 political parties in a small country with just 5 million people?
Well, if you or myself could think the same way, I would have thought the way that you thought. But again, you see the issue of education, that I said education has never made anyone successful before. Maybe is that you can learn. And if you choose to be stupid, you can be stupid, even though you still get PhD and still become a stupid person. Education will not force you. The mind of the person is what makes a person, not education. Every one of us wake up in the morning to go to school. It's the mind that tells us to do that. When a person's mind is developed, then that person can become successful at any time, educated or not educated. And so that's the point I am trying to make. Now, two, well, for me, John Tarley, forming 200 political parties and having 300 political parties, that's not my problem. And when you say I'm not different from anybody, well, I'm not different from them in the context of being a Liberian. Yeah, we are Liberians, so I'm not different because we all are Liberian. Way of life, I'm 100% different. So on that, we're not different. You're not different from them. I don't want to qualify that. I'm not different because we all Liberian. When it comes to doing things, I am completely different because I do my things to achieve. I have a goal. I have a mission. I set a plan. I execute a plan. And I accomplish the plan. Although people, I don't know what they have done, that you're naming them, well, for them. My own little thing that I've been doing, my little work as waterside brought 500,000 to the small business. My little work as a human rights activist brought me into the United States of America. My little work as African assistance program from my living room created over 20,000 jobs for Liberians. My little work as data school of nursing now have Liberians who now making $12 or $18 now making $25, $30. Some of them now are traveling CNAs. That little work have made somebody to be successful. So with my record, I want to say I'm 100% different from Van Sherman. I'm different from all the people that you name. Liberia, yes, we are the same.
So my last follow-up question quickly before the monitor comes in or go to before the next person comes in. So charity begins at home and it ends abroad. Gladly, we are opportune to have you for signing. It's a privilege. It's a blessing. So with all you have outlined, especially using agriculture to create millionaires. For me, I particularly believe one way or other you have already created millionaires, but inside specifically in your little village here, whether it's from Johnson, Pinetown, it's Mompo or Sincon, or wherever you may have hailed from originally, just tell us practically right here before your audience. I mean, the few persons who currently are making any means to your efforts in agriculture, not a large scale, not a bigger scale, but maybe something at a little level. In the meantime, while you come to national leadership to make it bigger. Tell us which town in Sando County you are having an agriculture initiative that provides an opportunity for employment or self-sufficiency for the people in Sando or anywhere in Liberia.
Okay, this is another thing I'm not intending to do now. I said before, when I came to Liberia, I came with a $2.5 million proposal. The reason is that Liberia is not Sano. Sano is not Liberia. Because I'm from Sano doesn't mean my concept, my idea should be Sano based. It must be Liberia based. And that's why the reason I even, before I should have come to Liberia when I had the first $75,000, I look at the money I was making in America and I said 75,000 was small money for me. So I didn't go there until I got that. And when I got the project, it was not for Sano, it was way for Riverside. The proposal I sent to the donor was for Riverside. Nimba, in the corner of Nimba and Riverside, there's a forest there. That's where I was taking the agriculture project. Now, as an individual, have I done anything with farming, with people in Liberia, technically, realistically? No. And the reason is, I don't want you to vote for me because I gave you a farm. The way the others are doing now, get somebody, get them colors, they vote for you, get them Zing, get them this one, they do the one for you. I don't want to do that. I feel that people are bribing people, which is a wrong thing that we do in Liberia. People bribing people through their gifts so they can get in power. I say, I'm not going to do that. That's why I'm not investing as an individual. If I choose to invest as an individual, then I will invest. But at this time, I have not done that yet because I have a bigger picture than just agriculture. I don't want to end poverty in Sano. I want to end poverty in Liberia. So my vision spread all over Liberia. That's why I've not done any personal investment to influence people as a way of giving me their vote. And that's why I've not done anything like that before. And two, maybe to just do a follow-up answer is maybe if the Minnesota government would have said, or the foundation would have said, John, you say you have idea to help Liberian people get a job. Show me who have you helped before to get a job before I give you money. But now, all the people I help will not be helped. It's a Liberian man's concept. It's a Liberian man's mentality, always. That's why the country is where we are. Because we're not looking at vision, we are looking for our personality. What has this person done? Now, what is the vision the person have? The white man didn't ask me, John, what have you done in America? All the years say you did. How many people you get job to before you say, I'm gonna give you $20,000 for you to get job to somebody? They didn't ask me that question. If it were a Liberian donor, that's a question they will ask me. But it's a white donor, he didn't ask that question. He believed in my vision. He supported it, and today here we are. I created all these types of opportunities. So I'm not going to personalize my work in Liberia. I will give my vision. Liberian people will agree with it. They will support it and will end poverty. Anything we don't see is what we don't see. There are things beyond what we don't see. And freedom movement is what you will today, you will mark this day and wait for 2029. You will see that Liberian will elect the freedom movement first round because of the vision that are going to Liberia. Not what we have done on our individual level. Well, guys, we say another more time, but let us do some closing thing and see so I can handle some people.
Definitely, yeah. I think you're being generous with your time. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and that's why I want us to, keep the answer brief so that because you're a basic man. All right, so guys, if you have closing questions, let's start with
Well, first of all, before you go there, is there anybody in your queue that have a question?
Oh yeah, I have tons of questions. I don't want to hold you all day. Yeah, I have a bunch of them.
No, now you.
No, it's gonna. I think. Do we have people that want to call in with questions?
That's what I'm saying. Do you have
let me see the people that are following, for example. Let me see what they got here for the guests. So let's see. I think maybe you want to react to the comment. You said nobody can be the president of Liberia come 2029 when you guys, like myself, don't even know you or about you. So the person is saying they have not even heard about you. How is it possible that you win first round? In other words.
Oh yeah, but I just said that again. The freedom movement, and then the person they don't know about me, and they just get to know about me now. So the freedom movement.
So some of the questions you will answer then. So let not keep you for that. Yeah, I think no question here. So Mr. Tarley, before you go though, I mean, one of the elephants, the biggest elephant in the room in our country.
I can take 3 from you. Go ahead.
Okay, nice. Thank you for being generous to me. So
I'm next.
Hold on, Perkins. The honorable just gave me 3 questions, so let me ask my 3 questions. Mr. Tarley, the first question is, if Perkins go on mute, please. Yeah. So again, I hate to nitpick, right? But you said, correct me if I'm wrong. But you said somebody was asking about. I think Sherry asked you about partnering with Liberians in the diaspora, right? And you said something to the effect of the actual enemies are the Liberians coming from America. That's you said something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
As we speak right now, you are a Liberian in America, and you're thinking about going to Liberia to be the president. Are you one of the enemies of the country that trying to go there? Because you said the people in America are enemies of the country. Are you one of the enemies?
Okay. I just said the problem in Liberia or the enemies of Liberia are Liberians from the diaspora. And I give you the reason. And my reason was, I said, I can point fingers at Liberia, who in Minnesota, who in North Dakota, who in any part of Liberia, who in the United States right now, who work in Joseph Barker government. I mean, Ellie, Joe Weir, working in Joseph Barker government, that riding cars now, they never owned before they were in America. They went to Liberia. I said that they went to Liberia. They took the money from Liberia and brought it back to America. That Liberia is an enemy to the country Because Americans don't go to Liberia and carry American money there. They made the money, they bring it to America. The money should stay in Liberia. I know Liberians now who paying their children's school fees in America. They in the government. They paying their husbands or their wives rent in America. They paying stuff in America. That money is supposed to stay in Liberia and put in the economy and circulate in the community so that poverty can go away. But they're taking the money, they bring it to America. Now, if you were a Liberian and you love Liberia and you want to work in Liberia, why you didn't move to Liberia? Why you have your children on the other side and your husband or your wife on the other side, that you are the one on the other side bringing our country's money to this country? Do you love Liberia? Are you not enemy?
But Mr. Tarley, I hate to do this though. You were working with the I think CCC in Liberia. When you were working in Liberia,
I worked there, and this is what I did do. There was an agency called NCCR.
Yeah.
Okay, I work for so let me call it what. But I was a contractor there. My job was to assist the agency to set up their case statement, make the agency to be able to build a international case statement so they can send that statement out to bring donors to Liberia to support that agency. That's what I was doing in Liberia. So every 10 cents I got paid for was in Liberia, was invested back into the economy of Liberia. I would not pay my wife light bill in America. Every cent stay in Liberia. That's my
okay. But the idea. But the point I was trying to make sure, when you were in Liberia, all your family members were in Liberia.
No.
Okay. All right. So that's
no. But I did not support them in America. That's my point.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you say 3 questions for me, right? So the last 2 questions, Mr. Tarley, you are currently running a school, right? And I've been talking to you for like 2 hours. You're a pretty educated man, and you say education does not make people successful. I don't know, because then why are you educating people if education does not make people successful? Why did you go to school your very self if that's something that does not make people successful?
Perfect. So, Duke, if you sat in your house and did not wake up to go to a classroom, does the classroom come to you in your house?
Yeah, if you want to do homeschooling, they can do that.
Perfect. Where?
In America, wherever. If you get money, you can homeschool your children.
No, in America. Just say in America.
No, everywhere. If you have money, Mr. Tarley, you can do that. If you want to homeschool your children, you can pay for that service, and it will go there to do it.
In America, that way you came to the country before you knew there was something called homeschool. When you're in Liberia, you got no idea. Wherever you came from, you got no idea there's anything called homeschool. So don't play politics. Let's discuss Liberia realistically. So now, here is it. My point here is, I said before, education don't make people successful. What makes a person successful is the mind. You can be educated. When you don't have the drive to move, the education is just hanging up in your living room. You got a degree hanging up in your living room, and you still work in the factories, though. So education didn't make you successful. The drive, the desire of the
So, Mr. Tarley, how do you define success? How do you define success?
Success is a person's ability to achieve what they want. Then that's success. Anything you achieve based on your ability is success. Anything you achieve based on education, then it's not education. It's your ability to use your education to achieve that thing is what makes people successful. So education, let me tell you, dude, this is what I said in my plan. When I was on Spoon, the few minutes I spent on Spoon, I said, like this brother just asked me a question. I said, when we enter Liberia, we're not going to build school. We're not building roads. We're not building, electricity. We're not building other things. Our we're not doing all that. There's only one reason. Only those who have vision will understand what I'm saying. I said we're not doing all of that. Because, Duke, you tell me now. Let's be real between you and yourself. Don't do political things. Just be real as a Liberian. The University of Liberia are graduating students. The AMEU graduating students. The UMU and all the U's are graduating students. Where are those students? They go after graduation, they come and sit down in their living room and start playing checker again. So when you build school, do you have sense? That's why the white people can laugh at us. They so look at the people, they're so stupid. You got all the people graduating from all these schools. You don't even get a job. You still want to be at another more schools. So the white men know that we're stupid. So I'm telling them that I'm not stupid. So I'm not been in school. When I enter Liberia, all those who have not been having job are going to get a job first. That would be my primary number one. Then number two, those who want to go to school are going to provide an opportunity for them to go to school. That primary number two. Then after achieving that part already, then now I can start building school. I'm not going to go to Liberia, build one university. How many people are graduating from the places? You do, is it because America have a better healthcare system? Is that a reason you came? No. You just came and benefited from the healthcare system they have. You have money, you got insurance, then you go to hospital. You build beautiful hospitals in Liberia. But the old man over there in your village don't have money to go to hospital, but you get big hospital, fine hospital. Old man can't go there. It's the old man not part of the citizenry of Liberia, but he built a hospital for only those who can afford. What happened to her? We are saying no, we're not building no hospital. We'll take the hospital to the people. We got something we call not on wheel. You didn't give me a chance to give you my platform, but we got something we call nurse on wheel. We will take those nurses into Vubadi. We will take those nurses into Waja City. All the Sano, the nurses who graduated from nursing school in Sano County, the government of Liberia made money available through the Sano Development Fund. Those nurses will create their own nursing program, and they will move from village to village, treating people. People are dying from malaria in those villages. Yeah, we still building university. Then the white men look at us and say, look at these stupid people. I'm not those people. I will get the money back to the citizens of Liberia. That's what my movement is about. The old man who can come to town, the nurses will reach to her. Those children you talk about education that in their villages, those are the places we'll go. If you check our plan, and you saw that no student will go to school from first grade, from kindergarten all the way to junior high school. You, at that time, I'm not sure you were born that time, but ask your mom, ask your uncle. When we were in school, there was something called care food. There were care food in all the schools in Liberia. So we don't have reason to say when I go to school, I will be hungry. Recess time, food is ready. Every student, even that piece of bread, we will eat it. We are reintroducing care food into the school system. So that's why we're not building school for the first time. We empower the one we have there. That those who will get them more jobs.
So Mr. Tarley, quickly before you go though, are you a socialist or are you a capitalist?
Both. Anything that on social that benefit my people, I will do. Anything that fall on the capital that benefit my people, I will do. Because let me tell you, the socialist and capitalist stuff is somebody's strategy. America, when you say America is a socialist or is something, but in America we got more welfare program. So when we call America a socialist state, but if they say America, there are other people that say no, we don't want welfare program. But the very people that say they don't want welfare program, they support welfare program. Is America a capitalist state? So
Mr. Tarley, what I'm hearing from you, if I go to Liberia and working hard and establish my business, you would take my money from me and divide it among the people. Basically, that's what you're going to do?
What do you mean by that?
Because you say you believe in capitalism and socialism. So the socialist is the one that says, you know what, I will use taxpayer money, I will take money from people and divide among the people and create programs. So I'm saying if I went to Liberia, establish my business, I use my personal money from here, establish my business, and you are in power, you're going to tax me so that you can share the money around. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Well, the war sharing around, I don't know if that what any socialist state in any country have done, grab people money and share it with people. I don't.
That's what they do with the tax people.
But what I'm saying, I still don't believe that socialist country, but even America tax people. America gave us tax return. That money America dividing around. Duke, you work and you pay taxes. Why should they give you return? Do you understand that tax return? You need to sit down and study that tax return. That socialists are the biggest form of socialism. You know that they don't want to give it to anybody. They say if you work, we'll give you some money back. That's what that means. So they give you the taxes back. So you still get welfare program. When the government of Liberia do that, I am saying if we create thousands of jobs, then the only people that will pay attention to are the older folks, the old people who work for the country. What we do? Yeah, we assist them with housing. Yeah, we assist them with food. We assist them with medical bill. Yeah, of course, we do that. Liberia will do that because that's what America does. So why we can't do the same thing? We'll do that in Liberia also. But to say that you will work and invest your own money, then you always to be and say, if you come to Liberia with an idea that you are creating job in Liberia, then Liberian government will come to you and say, "Do they think that you are doing that creating job? How can we help you to expand it so that you'll be able to create more jobs?" Then we invest in you. Then we expand. So we have what we call business recruitment, business expansion, and business recruitment, expansion, and retention. Like you come with a good idea and you're now doing good job, we'll come to you and say, okay, see, that is a silo. I think that people in Nima would need it because what you do in silo, Nima people may have use for it. We give you some $1 million. You go to Nima, you create the same thing. You pay us back later on. Yes, we will do that. We'll be investing in this.
Mr. Tarley, last but not the least, my last question is, the agency you work for in Liberia, a couple of people, they were indicted for corruption. I mean, how will you tackle the issue of corruption in Liberia?
I see corruption. Let me tell you, for everything that the world is carrying left, I turn it to right. You know what Liberian people always say? They say poverty, they say corruption is responsible for poverty. That's what people always say. I am saying no. My strategy says no. Poverty is actually responsible for corruption. 99.9% of the people that steal, they steal for economic security. After job security, you do. They just take for you. You finance minister. You drop all the BB cars. You pass it around. Everybody see you. I fire you tomorrow. The next you come on the road to wait for taxi. The Liberia man's mentality will tell you, say, locally man. He was finance minister over there, afraid that still not still locally stupid man. That you are all come to fight over taxi because your government, Liberia man, expect your life to be up. That's the reason, the motivation behind people who in power stealing, because they don't want to leave from there and come back to the lower level again. So the citizen will not embrace them as good people. The citizen will consider them as stupid people. You're afraid then steal, not steal, Liberia that your power farm, that would be the thing they would do. So our strategy here is, how will we end corruption? We will end corruption if for any reason we create thousands of jobs. So if we dismiss Duke as finance minister, Liberia Bank for Development is prepared to hire Duke as manager there. The other companies prepared to hire Duke there as accountant there. So for that reason, Duke have job security. Because he has job security, the act to corruption will reduce, because when Duke is fired, he still has job available. That's what they do in this country. They create job security for all their citizens. So it reduce corruption and they turn a cut corruption into half. That will be the freedom movement, the only political structure in the Republic of Liberia that have the best.
All right, Mr. Tarley, I really enjoyed the time with you. If you have closing talk, go ahead. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So I thank you again for the time. And for those who are are listening or who have listened, if you have any question, I'll be prepared to answer. The only thing I don't want us to do is to label me. Oh, that John Tarley. Oh, that Peter Paul. Oh, he from Sando. I want all of us to look at ideas. Let's look at vision. Who have the best idea? Where can the ideas be used in Liberia to end poverty in our country? Can we end poverty actually? Yes, we can. We just 6 million people. The money we have in our country is greater than, more plenty than 6 million people. Why people are so poor when others are enjoying? Let equally find ideas that can equally distribute the nation's resources for the benefit of all its citizens. Then we can all be proud and call ourselves, I'm proud to be a Liberian. That's what the freedom movement is about. Thank you again for the opportunity. And I look forward again when there is a time to come, I'll be willing to come once I am available. God bless all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tyler. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Really do appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Tarley.
So guys, what do you make? Let's do a little post analysis before we leave here. I think somebody calling, but the man is late already. Mr. Tarley is gone. Yeah, let's see what I can. Evangelist.
Yeah, for the person I call and see.
Is the Reverend still? Yeah.
No, he left already.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So, but let's get a taste of your question though, or your comment.
No, I was trying to ask him directly.
Okay, sir. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Patrick, what do you make of Mr. Tarley? Mr. Tarley said a lot of things. So I think Perkins asking about unifying the Sapo people, and the man said, "No, I mean, let the Sapo people get a separate organization. I mean, he's not there for it. If you support his vision, you can come. You know, let the Sapo people have different organizations. You know, and when you look at his platform, he got reconciliation and do different things. But then he said, you know, I let the Sapo people be on different angle. I don't follow some of those things that you were saying. But Patrick, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah. So post analysis. Well, I think on the issue of his view on the Sapo unity, from the context in which he speaks, is good. All right. So there can be as many.
Somebody else calling you. Hey, Tote.
Yeah. Call your own number. I'm sorry that Mr. Tarley left, but I listened to Mr. Tarley attentively, but I found it difficult to see how he will win the presidencies. Looking at the political parties that we have in Liberia, close to almost 21 or 30 political parties. Secondly, it does not have the political numerical strength. So where is the political base?
How do you know that for sure?
I know.
How do you know? How do you know it's Tote?
Mr. Tarley, the first place is what you have to do your political analysis. Looking at the two political grassroots parties, the bigger parties in Liberia, the CDC and the Unity Party. So Mr. Tarley coming as a newcomer, even most ability who come in the race, you will not even win the first round of the election. Let's be realistic.
But Tote, how can you make the predictions? What are the variables you're looking at to make the predictions?
Or the vote in Liberia is based on political the populations and how number that you have. Number one, Liberian people vote on tribal sentiments. For example, in Nima counties, Unity Party won the election because they have their son Jeremiah Coons is on the ticket. And at the time, Prince Johnson was supporting Unity Party. So Liberians are voting based on tribal sentiment. When you look at the vote, how we are won the Southeastern because it's from Greenville County.
So, but when you say tribal sentiment, though, so why did because I think the second round, why did Jawia win Nima County?
Second round, George we did not win Nima counties.
Oh, the first round, I think he won Nima County, right?
No, he did not win Nima County the first round.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, he didn't win Nima counties, and the actual vote that he got from Nima in the second round is about 62,004. But I'm saying this, Mr. Tarley had to be real, be real with the Liberian people. I know you want to get in the race, but I don't want to be for him to be like almost a spectator or somebody who just want to get into politics. because
So,
that's
but
what
tell me what you are doing. You are jumping before the cat here. The man, you are the way you measure somebody's strength, right? Let a man participate, and based on his numbers, then future election you can make a prediction. But the man has not even participated. You don't know the number that you garner, and you say, you know what, you can't win. You can't. I mean, what are the basics for your prediction here?
my prediction is for since 2005, that was my first time to vote in Liberian election. From that day forward, I've been following the Liberian politics. So I understand how Liberian people vote. Mr. Tarley, in the first place, political party, I'm not yet registered.
No, that is beside the point. That is beside the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is beside the point.
But anybody who understands Liberian politics, you are down there that you know how to be a rocket scientist to tell me that we have two bigger parties now in Liberia, which is the CDC and the United Party. And for Mr. Tarley to tell me that you will win the first round of the election, it is not possible, brother.
So okay, all right, but so you guys are on two different islands here. The man is an optimist and you are a pessimist. So let's see who will be right. But thanks for your talk, man.
Yeah, no problem, Dad, and thank you so much.
All right. So Patrick, you are in, right? So we can do.
Yeah. So post on
Patrick, you can come in.
So post analysis quickly. On the issue of the SADA and USAA, in the context in which he speaks, I appreciate that. That is good. That is, as many splinter organizations can be focused in specific areas, while at the same time aligning and forming part of the USAA in the greater general objective. So the USAA want to build a school, or the SADA, the other groups can still go and donate, and then that school can be built. If SADA now focusing perhaps on education, so okay, we'll be looking for scholarship for young support students. People have medical issues, okay, we'll fly them abroad. Yeah, SADA can be specialized in that area, and other organizations can be specialized in that area, as not creating competition. So I agree with him on that one, and on that basis, yeah, we can have many organizations. But on the issue of his own ambition, he got great vision, and he know how to articulate his visions well. His ideas very well. But honestly, his responses to some of the questions are very diminishing. For instance, no Liberian president has ever come to power, in fact, without the diaspora. He cast a dangerous cloud on the diaspora community. If he has said some members of the diaspora really have not been good. They've been caught in corruption. Maybe using the Ellen Cochrom's case as a case study, and others who have been indicted before as a case study, specifically, that would have been fine for him. But to say the diaspora generally, in that context, I mean, he loses a greater support base immediately because he has the economic power to make him win. On the other hand, everything you ask him, he says, I will not do it that way. All right? Yeah, I will not do it that way. Will you call the diaspora? No, I will not call them. Will you engage into education, healthcare, other things? No, I will not do it. Education is the key to success, or education most nations, or education is a bedrock for development or improvement. No, it is not it. So then, what is it? What is it that he wants to do so special? Because even in the very US, in the very United States, I mean, the things he wants to do in Liberia, or that he claims should be the case in Liberia, even do happen there in the US. So then, what kind of country he wants to create? And on the other hand, agriculture. All right. So charity begins at home. So right now, for example, in December, Shirley distributed over 100 bags of rice. All right, to vulnerable people. The majority of the people who benefited, including myself, are people from her community. All right. So tomorrow, so she sent money with it. She didn't just send the rice, but I think each bag of rice came with not less than $20. Okay, so imagine.
So, but Patrick, there's a difference between you and Mr. Tarley, the way he thinks. Mr. Tarley is saying those people like Shirley, for example, when she's politician, then you will be voting for Shirley because she gave you that bag of rice. But he is saying, but go ahead, Patrick.
I'm not going to vote for Shirley, but the point I'm making here is Shirley claims to be a humanitarian, and she is a humanitarian. And how does she verify her claim? How can I say Shirley is a humanitarian, and then somebody asks me, well, she says a humanitarian. What has she done before? So the man he has expertise in agriculture, he has expertise in helping people or in doing things. But then if you go back home in his village, or you go back to Grand, or you go back to Nima or to wherever, he got nothing there to show to anybody. And he said, I have not done so. And worst of all, he went into the deepest forest of Nima, between Nima and Riverside. He got on the $2.5 million World Bank project, and he went into the deepest part of Riverside and Nima County to carry it there. Fine, beautiful. But what is the impact back home? So that's the point I was making. So, but I'm not saying that we should vote for rice. And I'm not saying you should also give people rice. But the mentality or the idea that when you do good to the people of Liberia, or when you give them something like maybe a healthcare facility or an education facility, it means you are bribing them, or you are trying to buy away through. I think that is, that notion, I mean, doesn't make him winnable. Lastly, as to the formation of a new political party, and then at the same time saying the agricultural vision or certain economic vision that Perkins asked about, that he can't disclose it. I mean, that was being nationalistically selfish in some way, because to help a nation, it should not be based on a crap mentality that if it's not me, it should not be the next person. So that's why in the West, people paint their ideas. In fact, they paint their ideas. For example, America's children's or any federal agency, but it came directly from Oprah Winfrey. She painted the idea and sent it to Congress. Congress look at it, say yeah, and then President Clinton look at it and say, wow, it makes sense. So citizens can paint their ideas and give it to government, and government can review it and say, yeah, this thing makes sense, and we can make it something, work it as a national policy. So to keep it in his closet until he wins before he can disclose it, no. I think
Thank you. Let's bring Shirley. Shirley, what we're doing post analysis. What did you get from your former boss? Do you think his vision is convincing to the Liberian people? I mean, are you going to vote for him right now? If you were to vote for him, I'm giving what he just said based on his policy, and not because you knew him before. Will you vote for him? What do you make of his analysis or his campaign?
Well, I mean, first, to just come on here and be brave and express what you want to do. Everybody has the ability to dream and to dream big, and I want to say good job to Mr. Tardy for coming up with a vision that he believed in and working towards. But I think the place Liberia is right now, just having a vision alone not going to take off from being the poorest country or one of the poorest country in the world, because a lot of people have vision, and even the people that been president in the past or the one that is currently a president has a vision, but it comes with an action step, right? Not just saying it, just do it. And I love some of the question, and I don't think some of those questions was really answered by Mr. Tarley. To get to know, in the past, like past history, you had this amount of money that you would that you had control over to be able to manage, right? What happened to that money and what happened to the organization? I get the point of, people reported him and all of that, and I get it. But he said something which I didn't get to ask. I wanted clarification on that as well. To say he walked away from like 11 point something million dollar, but then the organization got closed with $307. He said something like that, but it's around $300. So, um, so that part I wanted him to clarify more on that. Like, what happened to the rest of the money that the organization was closed with just $300+. I don't know. And then another thing he said that I wanted more clarification on as well is the fact that, people were basically jealous, if I heard him right, about the car he had, the clothing line, and people thought he was using the organization money, which I didn't think he was using the organization money, and I could be wrong. But then, because I know him personally, so I don't think. But somebody who outside looking at him from the outside will be like, okay, well, you were riding those cars. You had a BMW or whatever a fancy car you had. So it's valid for somebody to say, oh, I mean, you're using the organization money. So if you become a president of Liberia, are you not going to be riding fancy cars? And people are going to say you're using the Liberian people money, or you just going to close down the country because people are saying you're using the Liberian people money. So that and then you understand that other part of, okay, we are closed down the organization because people will talk, especially if you want to be a president of Liberia. Yes, we are going to be like, you're using the Liberian people money. The same way him pointing finger at the people in the government now having their children abroad here, and they're paying their children school fee, they're paying mortgages for their spouses. People too will look at him that way because he's not moving his entire family to Africa. Some of them will stay here. And if I have him as my uncle and he's in the government, some kind of way, somehow the money will come here to be able to help people here in America. So there are a lot of things that I put down here when he was talking, and I wanted to get some clarification on those things and want to hold him accountable. Now you're saying it now, but when you get into a position, what will you do different? Because pointing finger is something else, but can you do it when you're there? Like the old people say, my late grandma will always say, it's easy to point finger or to say this person is not doing X, Y, and Z. But when you get into that position where you get the shoe on your foot now, it's completely different. So yeah, just a lot of things that I needed clarification on. I didn't think it was truly clarified by some of the answer he gave. But as far as his vision and what he wants to do for the Liberian people, I think he was very clear in expressing that. And I want to say, great job. But I hope he can put all of that into action for sure.
Perkins, what's the segment post analysis?
Yes, I mean, pretty much Patrick, excuse me, Patrick and Shelly have said most of it all. We all kind of, thought of most of Mr. Tarley answers and stuff along the same line.
Okay. Perkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, Mr. Manu. Hold on a second. Perkins, we got a caller here. He wants to say something. Like yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
That's me?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Madu.
Yeah, so he was one of the greatest guests you ever had on your show. He gave his vision. I know we guys may not agree with him, but that's why he came on the show for.
Right.
He came on our show to let you guys know why he capable of doing what he was doing to succeed if election is today. So everything he said, you don't have to agree with him. That position. I mean, all the questions you were asking, he answered in the best way that possible can. That's why he did. He's not answering the question for you to satisfy the question you're asking. He's talking to us outside. He's not talking to you guys that were in the studio. He's not talking to you guys that were on the panel.
Mr. Maya, we are also potential voters.
Yeah, well, you're hosting him. You are also a potential voter, I agree. When you are talking to higher people who is not on our show, who are outside listening to him.
So were you convinced by what he said?
I don't have to be convinced, but there are certain things that he said that I agree with him.
What did he say that resonated with you?
There's a lot of things he said that resonated with me.
For example?
For example, talk about corruption, he would do it differently. Voting would do it differently.
But on the question of corruption, though, he said, I mean, poverty is not responsible for corruption. You agree with that?
Like I said, I don't have to agree with him. But he said it for those that would listen to him. After 1 or 2 days, like, you kind of capture it and say, okay, this is why he said, I want to know why he said that, why he
So, Mr. Manu, if you were to campaign for Mr. Tarley right now, what would be the message that you would sell to the people?
I would campaign for Mr. Tarley because his vision is good for Liberia.
Socialism good for Liberia?
Not necessarily. The message is both socialism and
capitalism.
Capitalism. He's not one side. So I like the way he responded to all those questions today. But like I said, he's not speaking to you and Bertie. He's not speaking to Shelley. He's not speaking to I'm brother right there. So I mean, that would be on his side.
Mm-hmm.
We would be there. When the time comes around, we will go there and support him. Because he does good things.
Okay, all right, Mr. Martin, thank you. Wrapping up here. Let's get the next person. Thank you. Yeah.
One thing he said that without work, you can't change the Constitution. Because the Constitution said if you're getting a raise, you have to have 51 or 21%. That one thing I disagree with him that if he up among 30%, he should be the winner. No, it doesn't work like that. So I disagree with him with that.
Yeah, maybe he might amend the Constitution, propose a constitutional amendment. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
So right, I think that's what he's talking about. So that's the maybe I disagree with him from. I can try to say that one verbally. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Modible.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Perkins, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting you.
No. That's what the show is about, Instead of us just sitting here all the time, people listen to our opinions, we need people to interact with us. It's beautiful. Mr. Modible is not so wrong, to be honest. Mr. Tarley came on the show to sell his vision to the Liberian people. Now, we are Liberians, and like you said, we are potential voters too as well. But why in studio this time he's speaking to the broader Liberia instead of just you or myself? We on the panel tonight or this evening, we are serving as the interviewers. So obviously we will be skeptical and technical with our questions and the kind of answers that we are seeking for. So he is not here to speak just to us or directly to us. He's speaking to the rest of the Liberian population. Now, one of the things I noticed about Mr. Tarley's answers, with most of his answers, he is overconfident, right? And is this thing where people say if you are going into the race of anything and you believe you cannot win it, then you shouldn't even bother. So even when you have some limitations to certain things, you want to give yourself that confidence so that even when you fall short, you feel like you did something. So I feel that's where he comes from with most of his answers, because you myself know if we get 30 political parties in Liberia and you are not known yet for you to win first round election, it's kind of tough. But he wants to give himself that boost, that confidence that yes, he can do it. He can be the first person to do it. And there's first time for everything. He's right about that. It's just that our political climate is different. So take that into consideration. Now, when it comes to the unity of the Sapo people, I also understood what he meant, what you are trying to say. He's not saying that you don't want the Sapo people to be united. That's not what he's saying in general. What he's saying, he put it in a common words and said he don't want the Sapo people to put their egg in one basket. So he doesn't want us to have just one front, as a people. We should have different ideas, even when those ideas will be, translated into different formation or through different people, then so be it. If the SADC group will serve as the developmental arm for the Sapo people, and the Sapo USA will serve as the administrative arm, something like that. But even though we can have that differences, but that should not be a division. We should not be fighting each other. We should not hate each other. Matter of fact, we should come together and bring these ideas on board and work together. But then again, if you look at it technically, it wouldn't really make sense. We can have one big Sapo organization and give and divide into different sectors and give people different responsibilities to carry on those responsibilities. We don't necessarily have to have a whole different organization with file 1C3 and the other one with file 1C3. Then you say you bring ideas together. We don't have to do that. We can be a one unit and still, spread our ideas and give each other responsibilities. Now, when it comes to the agriculture thing, which we all know, and he agrees that agriculture is one of the key things on his agenda, which we all know here. Any country that cannot feed itself will always be in the poor column. So yes, Mr. Tarley, what can you do to improve our agriculture sector? He said, well, I got some brilliant ideas. When I was going to Liberia, I wrote different organizations who donated different amounts to me. But my main idea on how I will implement the expansion or the growth of our agriculture sector, I wouldn't say it yet on this platform. Because if I say maybe Joseph Baga was still there or woman Jovia was still there, I don't buy that. You understand me? Because the thing here is you actually want to say those things so that people can see what you say and can understand that you know what you are saying. And that will influence people to vote for you. But when you say, no, I can't say until I win, that means the Liberian people got to buy pea in the bag. They don't know what they buy. And so that way, you will not be different from the many politicians that we got in Liberia. I always say this: there are a lot of things that our politicians, at least from my perspective or opinion, that they have in common. The Ellen Johnson, the George Weah, and the Joseph Waka. Just for example, even when we go back to the child setter, the one thing I know they had in common is before becoming president, they had no economic structure in Liberia that they can point to and say, this is what I did for the Liberian people, even though I wasn't president yet. They all have that one thing in common where they have no infrastructure structure, school of their own that they can point to before they became president. You understand me? So when it comes to Alexander Cummings, I always say, Cummings, you got to make yourself different from them. Don't fall in that column. Don't say because George Weah became president, you never had anything going in Liberia, you became president for popularity, or Ellen became president because she was the oldest politician who was still around. Joseph Boga became president because we got sorry for him, we were too old and being politics forever. Cummings, you don't have to do the same. Do something for the Liberian people. Let them be able to see it. Let them put their finger on it and say, this is what Cummings did when he was not president. So when he becomes president, he can do more. But no, you're not doing that. You want to follow that same route. So that's exactly what John Tarley is coming from. That's what you're trying to do too as well. He wants to be like the regular Liberian politician. And so the answers were not bad. This is his first time on the show. I want to believe if we invite him again, some of those answers that he gave today will change. I can guarantee you that. Because, sometimes when you go and reevaluate some of the things you say or you answer to, you would know that when it comes to education not being the key to success, I learned a quote and I always say, education or hard work does not necessarily guarantee success, but it certainly increase the chances. Right. You understand? So we understand. And you got either 2 or 3 different forms of education. Now, if you are talking about formal education directly, we all here now, we got to be able to read and write in order to live in today's society where technology is how we work and how we do most of our things. So yeah, that part of education today, in order for you to be successful in certain things, you will need it. Now, when it comes to you being innovative and doing things without actually having to enter a classroom, that other form of education too, yes, you need it. If you have it, that's good, you know, and you can use that too as well. So I believe that's where he's coming from when he say education. You don't have to be educated to be successful. That's where he's coming from. But we all know you have to be literate to do the kind of jobs that we do today. Even when you work in the factory, you got to do application. You got to go for interview. You got to go on machine and press button. If you can't read and write, you will have problems. So education plays a lot. What we understand, a lot of the people that are successful, that are rich today, they did not go to college or specialize in different careers. You understand me? Some of them, Mark Zuckerberg, didn't get up one day and saw a vision like him, Mr. Tarley, and you know, and establish it and become rich. So that's where he's coming from when he say education is not just the key. I want him to always use the word education is not just the key to success, but you can say it's not the key. You can say it's not just the key. Then
it's not a key, right? Yeah,
right. Then we are getting somewhere. But like I said, if he come back on the show or he goes home and view some of the answers, he will adjust, and next time you will have, you know, better answers to these questions. But
definitely. Let me just end here.
He articulated well. He articulated well to understand.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I mean, there's a difference though. He was more relaxed on here today than he was on Spoon Talk. You know,
that's
and I think he has to assume the posture he had today. He very relaxed, but on Spoon Talk, I don't know, because the guys were pressing him too much. He was like yelling too much and moving around, and he was maybe So next time he goes there, relax and give his answer like you were doing today. I like that. He was very relaxed. Yeah, a lot of things, tons of things I don't agree with him. I mean, when you say poverty is not responsible for corruption, to understand it's true, but practice we are in the US, a lot of politicians here, they are corrupt. Is it because, you know, he said poverty is responsible for corruption? Actually, that's why he said something to that effect. Poverty is responsible for corruption. And we live in a country where corruption is rampant, but the people that are poor, no. Trump is a more corrupt man down in the world, but he's not a poor man. He just wants more money, you know. So corruption, and when you say corruption, I mean poverty is not responsible for corruption. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, but that's something. It's a whole lot of things you say. You know, like you rightly articulated that education is one of the keys, of course, to success. John Tarley is doing what he's doing today because he's educated, right? Yes. I mean, if you're not educated, you will not run a school. You will not know how to run an NGO, how to apply for government grants and do different things in order to get the funds from the government. You know, so he went to school, and that's why he has that knowledge. So when you say, "Oh, education is not the key to success," it's not the only key. We agree with you, but one of the keys. You know, if you even look at the statistics, people that have higher education, they have a higher earning potential than people that don't have higher education. It's a fact. You know, so the more education you get, the more pay you get. At least in the same thing in our country, Liberia, those ministers, they make more money, right? Than the honor people, because why? They have higher position and they got higher education, right? So they make more. You know, so that's a fact. But for practice, I wanted to share just quick commercial. I mean, I read Mr. Tarley's agenda. You were talking about $300 minimum wage. I mean, all the different things, 5 million. I mean, all the different things you were talking about. Like, okay, how is he going to go about all these things? But he didn't tell the how, but he just gave her, you know, higher salaries. You were talking about those things, free education, healthcare, but you know, education is not a key to success. But he giving people free education. So I don't know where you're going with all some of those things you were saying. But overall, yeah, I liked his boldness and to the Alice Cummings' route. That's why he's taking. Alice Cummings just came from Coca-Cola. He wants to be president. You know, just the same for NGO, running an NGO. He wants to be president. He does not even want to contest for a county, for representative, senator, or something. You know, but he wants to come from his area then just become president. Good luck with that. I mean, is it possible? Yes. When the Liberian people they buy his vision, definitely he can do it. But I think it's slim, you know, with some of the things that he's saying. Yeah, but Perkins, it was a good show. I want to say thank you for coming always. You know, I know, I mean, the little man, you're based on what you put, you know, I understand totally. Yeah, so yeah, but you did good. You're looking good. You're sharp. You beat everybody on the show today. Shelly tried, but she can't even come closer to you.
Shelly gone to bed.
Yeah, Shelly's tired. But that was a good show, man. Let's call it a day. I mean, we have this young man that was fired by our lawmaker. I don't know whether you follow the story.
I don't think so.
Right here. Yeah, he was fired by Alexander Noah. He's a district coordinator for him, and he just got fired. But maybe next show we're gonna go deep into it. Yeah, and find out why he was terminated. But there's the communication from the Facebook page of the lawmaker office of Honorable Sonny Noah right here for immediate release, March 24, 2026. The office of Honorable Alice S. Noah, representative electoral district number 3, Sino County, is pleased. You're firing somebody, you're taking the person from a job, but you see, you're pleased, right? Please inform the general public that Mr. Stanley David Natty has been relieved. I mean, you know, the offensive word for, you know, fire, you know, have been sacked, you know, so it's relieved of the post of district coordinator. This termination of service takes effect as of 31st March 2026. We would like to thank Mr. Natty for his service during the time of his stay with us at the office of Sano Electoral District number 3. Meanwhile, the successor of Mr. Natty as district coordinator will be announced in subsequent time. Thanks. Okay, so that's our lawmaker, Mr. Noah. Instead of increasing the employment rate, he reducing it, or if you like, he keeping it at the same level, right? Because he firing the guy and then he bringing another person, so it's the same thing, right? So all you're doing is replacing the guy with another person. But then, you know, that's not youth empowerment, right? You fire the man right now. The man does not have source of income. I would imagine again, we want to know what happened. He didn't tell us what the guy did, but from the grapevine, what we are hearing, Perkins, they said the young man did not go for his birthday celebration, and that's why you were fired for. That's the information we are hearing. Yeah, that coming in the speculation room of voice sign. Yeah, yeah.
That's something.
Yes.
Something about operating that Donald Trump now.
Oh yeah, definitely. You don't go for why you will not go for the king, you know, birthday celebration. All right, man, Perkins, let's call it your day, man. That's a good show.
Yeah, let's call it a day. And then we're out picking Afro. Then you see anything.
Oh yeah, Afro got us. I got Afro for us. All right, so guys, that's how we're doing it for the day. USAA, don't forget, the inauguration of the president is coming up, and you will do the commercial. Pretty much, you will beef it up. I mean, right now the time is getting closer. We'll have to get the information out there. But don't forget, Perkins will be in the building. The man will be one of the co-MCs. You know, yeah. So you got to be in Fargo, North Dakota, April the 11th. You can't miss it. Starting from the 10th. Up to the 12th. You see the timeline here? Yes, it will go down in Fargo. The president of USA, William Manning, will be inaugurated. All right. With that being said, guys, we want to say thank you so much.
Tarley the Kulemo boy alongside Prince Near Tarley on this one. I'm there for you.